We got Mike Storey in the house with a very interesting, different look here. The hair doesn't look perfect. He's got glasses on today, and I told him before we got on the stream, I was like, what are you trying to show me up and look smarter than me since we're doing our rank disputes? And you do look really smart. You're already a smart dude, 4 degrees, well-spoken, and now you're going to add the glasses to just make me look like an idiot?
Again, this is strictly to make you look stupider on this podcast, and has nothing to do with the oil tankers worth of bourbon that I consumed after our draft last night.
First of all, you said stupider. Isn't it more stupid? Is stupider a word?
More stupidest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You partied last night. I left early, which is rare for me, but I had the 10 o'clock stream, and the show comes first, and I would have loved to hang out with you guys. Celebrating, shout out Nico, his birthday. And Storey, your birthday's coming up as well, man. Like, 10 days?
2 weeks.
What's the date exactly? So I can forget it?
Yeah, 31st. It's pretty hard to forget. It's the end of the month.
Cameron must not have heard all the talk of the ASU college championships. He says 4 degrees, 0 championships.
Yeah. We'll Cameron, one of these days, we'll go through the college fantasy football record. With this guy. This is the
NFL show, though, so maybe he's onto something. Come on, Storey knows his shit, and Cameron was just fucking with you anyway. We like a little good banter and good jokes. Anyways, this is a big week for us in the show. I have my first official Fantrax draft on Wednesday, and then starting on Saturday, I have 1 or 2 or 3 drafts every day until the start of the season. You saw Blake's comment, 22 days until the start of the season, which is weird because fuckload of people are hurt, and we're gonna get to that here in a second, but. The other big part of this week is rankings week, Storey. We have a 2-part series of ranking disputes, not just between me and you, but if we love a guy or we hate a guy and ECR likes them or hates them and we're way different than ECR, that's a dispute because we're going to dispute against ECR and kind of just talk shit about Fantasy Pros. So a lot of good stuff on tap this week.
No way we're getting through all 4 positions tonight. Just looking at the rankings.
No, I got essentially quarterbacks, tight ends, and a few running backs. And then on Friday, we're going to do Friday is Hawaiian shirt day. So
Hawaiian shirt. Should I really wear a Hawaiian shirt? I've got some.
No, it's an Office Space joke. But
I know.
You get the joke. We love Office Space around here. I'm glad that didn't go over your head because it's amazing.
I'll tell you what I do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man.
What's up, Jonathan? Thanks, buddy. You're the man. Dakota wants to know if you have a college football league that he can join. He wants that smoke.
Maybe, actually. So, Dakota, we always have at least 1 turnover in the home league that I'm in, which, dude, you should clean up in this league. But also, a guy emailed me today about whether or not he's going to have enough people for the other league that I was in last year. So, if there's spots you want in, it's yours, Dakota.
I'm out. I think my 40 redrafts are enough for me in NFL. I don't want to go down to some other tributary. What's up, K-Space? College football fantasy got added to Yahoo. That's pretty sweet.
They did.
Any other comments I missed? Ooh, I got to go to this first one. This is pretty interesting. So apparently there's Christian Gonzalez is like debating holding out. He wants his contract. He says he's hurt, but he wants a contract. He's not practicing until he gets paid, and the Cowboys want to make another splash. What's the deal? And the Pickens thing. So this is funny. So Mouse says Gonzalez and Booty for Pickens, which makes a lot of sense for both teams. The Cowboys would sacrifice on but their defense would actually be pretty elite if you added Gonzalez to that defense. And I was thinking about Pickens going to New England. Could you imagine Pickens and AJ Brown on the same team? Like, the only way they'd both be happy is if the Patriots won like 50-20 and they both had 200 yards and a touchdown. They had to have the exact same stats, exact same targets. That would be the whiniest wide receiver room in the history of the world if it was Pickens and AJ Brown.
Yeah, I don't think that they would have tagged Pickens if they had any interest in moving him. So this would be a picks for me. This would be, I don't know, what do they got next year? Do they have a first-round pick next year? Or is that still part of the Parsons trade?
Man, I think they do. I think they do. No, they got a lot of 2s back. I don't know exactly, and I'm kind of too lazy to look it up right now because I think it's a hypothetical. It is a shame about Tyson, team money. We're going to talk about that in just a second. I also have a shout out to make to Ryan, newest member of the community. He's going to be playing in the Superflex League with us. So shout out Ryan, couple others. McAuliffe had just joined. We got Quaid. Shamrock was gifted a monthly membership. Hopefully he stays around. Junkbuster, as you saw him on the stream, we drafted his team together. A lot of awesome additions. Appreciate all you guys for hopping in. And we love you guys. Also, Cameron, I can add you to this graphic. You're not a Patreon, but you are a YouTube member, so I can add you to this graphic, Cameron, because I want to give a shout out to all my boys. And perfect time for those guys to join, because starting on the 20th, we are done with OG status. So the OG status is the first year of the streams, and I'm going to do different colors for the OGs. And also, if you're an OG, you get a lot of other perks. That's thing, you won't get them if you join after a year, but you're grandfathered into whatever tier you want, and whenever you go up, it's going to be whatever the original price was for said tier. So when the betting tier goes up to $20 a month next year, when I crush again, you're going to get it for 10. You're going to stay at 10. So that's what I want to do for you guys. The real OGs. And Storey's a real OG, but I can't take Storey's money unless we're playing fantasy together. In that case, I always take his money. Mouth with the $18 banger, and I have a chug here. We drafted. I got to just establish that already. Tell them where you're going to be September 1st. Also, on September 1st, I'm doing a 10-man, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, 2 flex, 2 quarterback, 7 bench spots, 1K home league for 100. That was a lot of stuff to read off there. And yeah, that's the league you were in last year. I'm glad they raised the buy-in, a 14-man, right? Is that what 14-man league
with 2 flex.
Oh, 10-man. This is a different one. So 10-man. Oh, this is a different one than the other league. Okay, 10-man. Super deep though. Love that. And Mouth's gonna be well prepared watching all these streams and coming on the show with us. And also, he's gonna be even more prepared because Iron Eagle coming on his program September 1st. I'm coming on that said program, same program with Iron Eagle. What a privilege. What an honor. And that is September 1st. I believe that is a Tuesday, and it'll probably be released Tuesday night. It's not a live show. So, guys, you want to hop over there to YouTube, give Downtown Sports a follow, a like, and a sub, and get prepared for that show, because who better than a man that's calling all these games, that has intimate knowledge, that was been playing fantasy football since 1990, Mr. Iron Eagle. And it's going to be a great show. Appreciate Mouth, and looking forward to being able to just kind of sit back and listen. No pressure on me. I mean, it just kind of sucks to bring my analysis next to an all-time Titan, but I think I can hold my own. I think so.
This will be interesting.
No dick jokes for me, though. No dick jokes.
Live streamed?
No, this is just recorded, so they can cut out my
swearing.
We got Galloway. I can hear AJ Brown whining at the sound of adding Pickens. Dude, it would be such a funny situation. It would never work. They have enough at wide receiver. I still like Pop Douglas, and Kyle Williams now is supposed to get some run. We'll see. What's a segue? There's a professional.
What a segue. There's a professional.
Yeah, thank you. I can't read, but I can fucking host. All right, we have a lot to get to today, guys, so try to get your comments in. I'm going to try to get as many as we can, but we have a lot of rank disputes to get to, as well as a lot of news. This is it's getting pretty gross. So we drafted last night's Story, and I took both Alec Pierce and Jordan Tyson, which is hilarious.
That is.
I trust that I make the playoffs. There's no high point bonus in this league, and I don't really have a flex, but my team is stacked. I got Rashee Rice in the 4th round. My bench has all 7 of the top 10 handcuffs. With all the injuries, I'm loving what I got. I got Drake May, Tucker Kraft, regardless. But I took those 2 guys in the same team, which is weird. That's not smart. But I also have Devon Vele, which might be okay. But yeah, there's a lot of news besides just the Tyson stuff. So let's get to the news before we get to our rankings.
Guys, I got news. I've got terrible news.
So this is exactly what I wanted a vacation from.
There are 2 guys in this church that are gay.
Who's the other guy?
I don't get the joke.
Yeah, he's never gonna understand.
What's wrong with that?
All right, here we go. We do the aforementioned Jordan Tyson. We knew it was going to be kind of bad. You're going to see the intro I have. It's funny. But, again, I am about taking Jordan Tyson now, but I can get him in the 10th. I got him at pick 105 last night before this news even dropped, before we knew he was out 2 months, roughly 2 months. That actually means it could be more. I did the math. That puts them coming back like week 6, week 7. They have a week 8 bye. So you're probably not getting Jordan Tyson to week 9. That is half the fantasy season. That is rough. Story, what's your take on this?
Yeah.
It's all the fallout.
Not only is he missing extremely valuable reps in preseason, he's a rookie. He's missing preseason games. 2 months. We were told that this was it's the same hamstring, but unrelated to the previous hamstring injury. I find that a little hard to believe at this point. In redraft leagues, unless you've got 2 IR spots, I don't think there's a reason to draft him at this point. You're going to keep a guy on your bench or even an IR spot, which can be very valuable if you only have 1 IR spot for the first 2 months of the season. And when he comes back, there's a ramp-up period. We know that these extremely long hamstring injuries, there is at least a full month for them to get up to speed. And this guy's never played in the NFL before. So from a redraft perspective, dynasty, fine. It's a lost season, whatever, no big deal. from a redraft perspective, I just don't think there's any reason to touch this guy in normal redraft leagues.
See, I'm going to take the dip, and this is, I don't like to roster like fringe players. I'm like Jacoby Myers, never touching my bench in a redraft. Like I want league-winning players, and Jordan Tyson could be that. It's just going to take a long time, and I understand your point about wasting a roster spot. You can always cut him. It's about price point, right? Like I took him 105 last night. I feel like now he's going to creep to the 120s, and when you start going 120s, now you have my interest, man, because I can make do for those 8 weeks. It's not a lot of capital. I had Tyson as my number 2 receiver. I actually had Concepcion as my number 1 coming out this year. And as you know, Carl Tate was way down the board because he's terrible. But it would have been Jordan Tyson 1 over Concepcion, but it was just the injury stuff. And it was just very concerning. It was, it's like a repeat offender when they keep on getting arrested. It's like, am I going to bank on this guy to turn his life around at age 40 when he's been arrested 17 times? Probably not. And that's Jordan Tyson's college career. And now it's become his pro career. So we'll see, man. I love the talent. I love the player. I love the situation alongside Chris Olave. Let's talk about Chris Olave, though, because, I was a little bit lukewarm on him going in the mid-third in Underdog and all these previous drafts I've done in terms of best ball. But now it's 2-3 turn, right? It's ahead of Nico Collins. Is it right at Nico Collins? Is it George Pickens, that range?
I still have Nico Collins ahead of him by quite a few spots in my rankings because I think Nico Collins is severely undervalued every year. There's something to be said for the safety that Nico Collins brings to your roster. But I've got him between McMillan and Rice. So between Tetero, McMillan, and Rice, he is just outside that wide receiver 1 territory for me. And he creeped up pretty precipitously on the news today because the target competition is, again, they're extremely shallow at wide receiver outside of Jordan Tyson and Chris Olave. So fingers crossed he can stay healthy. Outside of the concussions, he's not been a true injury-prone player. He's had some weird stuff. He had the blood clot last year. I'm not really worried about that. I think, a 2-3 round turn is just about right.
I think it actually might be higher. He should probably be going closer to Drake London, man. Like the safety, we want to buy into this Kellen Moore's offense. What we have to do is definitely move Tyler Shuck down a peg or two. Because this is now he's thrown to Vele and fucking Juwan Johnson, dude. Also, ETN, maybe a half round bump, right? The pass catching stuff, the usage will go up. It just has to. Jordan Tyson was going to be a big part of what they were going to do there. And the other reason I love Olave here, it's not even the target competition being gone. It's the usage and where he's going to line up. Like we were anticipating Jordan Tyson being the primary slot here, which is such a lucrative role in Kellen Moore's offense. Now it's just going to be Chris. I know they're going to play Vele a lot in the slot, but like this is just more slot snaps for Olave. So this is just a safe pick now. And, 100 catches in the bank and PPR. Sign me up for that. Next news item, we have Emeka Egbuka, your guy, who I saw. I don't want to spoil the rankings too much. You were a little lower than I thought. Maybe it's because of toe injury, but, they came out a couple days ago saying he's fine. He'll miss a couple practices. Now they're saying his week 1 is a question, which these toe injuries tend to linger.
And you got to give credit to this rookie sensation wide receiver out of Ohio State, Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, man. All signs point to turf toe on this, and you have to move him down the ranks. I loved Emeka Egbuka this year. I loved where he was going. I thought he was a screaming value. It's just not the case anymore until his. I might not get him because I don't know his value is going to drop all that much based on this news. But for me personally, these are other injuries that tend to linger. Turf toe can crop back up at any time. That's turf toe is not something that you want.
No joke, dude. It's no joke.
Anything related.
They got to rename it. They got to rename it to like Satan's asshole or something, so people actually take it serious. Because people are, it's just a toe injury, bro. It's a big toe, and it's the entire part of the foot. Like it fucks your season up. So. This is rough, man, and I hope the counselor, I wonder what he's going to say because he loves Egbuka, and if he likes a player, he doesn't acknowledge their injury history, and now we have to acknowledge Egbuka. He played through the injury last year. He was hurt all of last year. Now he's already hurt again. All he wants to do is rip on guys like Jonathan Taylor for missing some time playing running back, but Egbuka is not injury prone, right? Like those guys he likes are not injury prone. CMC is injury prone, even though he played 17 games. So hopefully he addresses this, but I want to buy in on Egbuka, though, if he dips. I don't like drafting players that are hurt going into the year. Or maybe I do, because what I said about Tyson. But It's about price point, right? If I can get Ibuka in the 4th round now, miss a week or two, I don't care. I'm getting a round value. I can make up the stats,
Need to see where this goes, because if this lingers and if he doesn't practice before the start of the season, I think you have to be out on him anything short of the 6th round. Like there's a lot of talent in the 4th and 5th round that you're giving up. The opportunity cost to take a guy, tremendous talent on a great offense, but the opportunity cost is too great for you to have somebody like, are we going to have a repeat of the last year where you just kept throwing Ibuka in and you got 5 points a week? That you can't do that. I mean, at the start of the season, both from like the record standpoint and getting off to a mental health thing, like I can't just, he's too costly to bench too. So it's a tough spot.
Yeah, and the Tyson thing is different. Like, 8th to 12th round is a big drop, but it's not like a 12th round is literally like a 4th, 5th bench spot. This is, even if it's 3rd to 5th round, like 5th round pick, the players that you can take are elite. Christian Watson, just give me Christian Watson at this point. So, and you made a good point of like, he might miss time to start the year. That's not the bigger concern. Like 1 or 2 games, it is what it is, right? Everyone else should be healthy, no bye weeks. He misses some time, and you have to deal with possibly a lingering rest of the season injury where he's 80%. And we saw him try to operate 80% last year, and it was not pretty. Ted Hurst is a guy that's emerging. They like McMillan. Chris Godwin is old steady. They have your boy Kate Otten there. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe we got to start drafting Kate Otten. You move Kate Otten up in your ranks or what?
You know who I should start drafting, since we were talking about the Saints, is Bryce Lance. That's a guy that I was high on coming into the draft, and he's been buried on that depth chart. Good opportunity for him to move up. He
showed out, too, with the joint practice. Vele was pretty impressive last year, though. I think he's going to slide into that role. Not a very sexy start, though. No one's like, I'm starting fucking Vele, dude. Hell yeah. I just wanted to bring Ibuka up for many reasons. I know you're a big Ibuka fan, and we'll see where it leads to. We have another name here. This is Jeremiah Love. This is another interesting one. Adam Schefter reports that it's a high ankle sprain, but I heard it was a mid high ankle sprain, I believe, which how
a good one or a bad one? I can never tell anymore.
It's the mid is not like surgery or anything like that. I have let me see. I took a picture of this. So I went historically. I did about 10 minutes of research on this one. I went historically with some examples. And grade 1 is 1 to 3 weeks. That is a milder stretch. This seems to be a grade 2, which is a moderate or partial tear. They're saying it's on the lower end of a grade 2 in terms of the better part of a grade 2. That's 3 to 6 weeks. That's for your average NFL player. And he's super young, so I feel like he would be on the good side of that, but they might be cautious with him because they have no hope this year. This is the most common timeline for missing games without requiring surgery. There's been some examples of this recently. It was typically three or four games. And the first game, by all the accounts of the players, the first game, they feel like they're 60 to 70%. And then after they get it loosened up and they play a little bit, it is almost back to normal by week 2. So we're looking at a 5-week injury here. We are a little less than 4 weeks from the season. So give me the chances that Jeremiah Love suits up week 1.
I think it's pretty high still, probably 80%. They're going to take it extremely easy on him. Now, the problem is, though, they were already easing him in. We saw the work that Tyler Algier got, and I think the fact that they were splitting first-team reps during practice leads me to believe that Tyler Algier was going to be more involved than people would have liked. This only gives them more reason to slow play Jeremiah Love in the season. So we might see he could be the starter, but 10 to 12 carries with 2 targets. So now you're talking 14 opportunities for a wide receiver, or for drafting him as your running back 1. That's going to be tough to overcome.
So he was going essentially early to mid 3rd. We'll call it like 28 to 30 ADP in most leagues. Not even just best ball, but normal ADPs. That was before the injury. And there was, he was going later. He had dipped because all the reports of, Algier, James Conner. Well, James Conner is not even going to play probably he might start the year on PUP. And Trey Benson already had a flare up in that knee. So this once crowded running back room is now just Algier and Jeremiah Love. This is what I love about this situation. By the way, I have Tyler Algier in the league we drafted last night. So I have every handcuff. So feeling good about that. But where would you be comfortable? Let's say, I have a draft on Wednesday. I have a couple drafts on Saturday. We're not going to have any more information from now until then. I like to play aggressive after the first 2 rounds, right? And this is going to be a 3rd or 4th round pick now. Where would you feel comfortable drafting Jeremiah Love in a standard, a 12-team PPR league, 1 flex, pretty deep, but not crazy deep. It's not like my league that I commission where it's 2 flexes. Is it the 3-4 turn? Is that like too good to give up, like that price point?
Yeah. I mean, with a talent like Jeremiah Love, getting him in the late third, early fourth round does feel because it's a high ankle sprain and won't require surgery. So he will be on the field at some point. You might get off to a slow start, but at the least, you know that you're going to have him on the field sometime in the early part of the season. This contrast that with Jordan Tyson. And now you're looking at, like I said, the first 2 months and then a ramp up period. Love, you never want to hear a high ankle sprain. He is younger. He's an athletic freak. So we hope that it's on the shorter end. Let's just hope that the Cardinals are smart. I don't know why was he playing so much.
I don't know, dude. He looked great though. He looked fucking like Adrian Peterson out there.
You should have given him 4 carries. Been like, you know what? You look great today, Jeremiah. Why don't you go hit the showers? We'll let.
It's also the Cardinals. I don't know. First year head coach. Who are you more concerned about? So I think the answer should be Love, but Love versus Ibuka. Ibuka is more like gray area. Like we don't know about the turf toe. We know turf toe is probably worse than a high ankle sprain in terms of affecting your entire season, as long as you don't get another high ankle sprain. But turf toe just doesn't go away unless you rest it for months. So who are you more concerned about short term and then long term? Because I feel like the Love injury isn't as big of a deal long term, as long as it doesn't rush back. Where I think Ibuka is going to be dealing with this all year to some degree.
High ankle sprains are no joke, though. Like, remember Saquon had a high ankle sprain, right? And that kind of messed his season up. Jonathan Taylor had a high ankle sprain. Mahomes had a high ankle sprain at one point. It takes some time to get back to it. Again, he's extremely young. He's very athletic, so you hope that they take it easy on him, let him rest, because again, high ankle sprain, it's kind of a misnomer. It's not really a sprain. It's to the point where the ligament starts pulling away from the bone and you get microfractures in the bone because of it, depending on where it is in the ankle. So the only thing that can heal that, it's not like they can go in and surgically repair it, right? So the only thing that can heal that is also rest. Now, turf toe, though, if it's a bad one, that you had mentioned, that's the big toe that connects everything in the foot. That could be an all year thing. Whereas Jeremiah Love, I think worst case scenario, you're looking at 4 weeks off, 8 weeks, or an additional 4 weeks of reduced production or a ramp up period from there. So by the end of the first month of the season, hopefully you get Jeremiah Love at his fullest. But again, it gives the Cardinals reason to kind of slow play Love's workload in the early part of the year.
He had a meniscus issue, which totally tanked Derrick Rose's career.
Dr. fucking Storey. I got to make a new graphic for you, man. Good stuff there. All right. We have one more name to get to. Again, this is just gross, man. There's even more injuries when I bring up now, but these are some bigger names. And this one is Kyle Monangai. Hyperextended knee, multiple weeks. Again, super vague here, but this is Swift season, dude. And, I still like drafting Monangai. This is Swift season, my dude. And
maybe I don't underestimate the Najee Harris contingent, or who else is still floating out there? I guess like Austin Eckler, right?
No, they're not going to sign anyone. I'm just saying, like, this is going to be a slow start for. No, I don't. I think Monangai will be ready for week 1, but he'll be a little bit more limited. So you're going to get a nice start with
Swift. It would be extremely foolish for them not to sign somebody. Like
they have Roshan Johnson and Britton Brown, dude.
Exactly. Say those names again. Roshan Johnson.
I don't want to say those names. I don't want to say that. It's like Candyman. You say it 4 times, and then the fucking guy comes out and slits your throat.
I know Najee Harris was visiting with the Giants, but who else is out
there? Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb is out there. Austin Eckler's out there. He's kind of over the hill. I would be floored. Okay, I wouldn't be floored because it's the Bears and they're a bad organization. So, but they should bring somebody in. They really should bring somebody in to compete here for the backup job. Monangai is a big part of that offense. We know that they like playing 2 backs. Ben Johnson likes playing 2 backs. Not having a complimentary back behind Swift, great for him to start, but I don't know that he could. Yeah, I don't see them not bringing somebody in.
Was it 14 touches for Jeremiah Love in that game? And he that's unreal in a quarter and a half. I mean, it's awesome for like what we could project. At least they're going to use him and use both running backs a lot. But like that in a preseason game, like it's not like he has something to prove. Like there's no one that questions Jeremiah Love's ability, or even like he's not like a Mike Washington where he's raw. Like Jeremiah Love is about as pro ready as they come, especially as like a pass catcher. And I guess the only question with Jeremiah Love is probably pass protection. But they weren't using him to do that in preseason because that'd be stupid. So just what a wild situation. Not a good start for the LaFleur tenure there in Arizona. Like, just not a good decision. Sorry, that's got to grind your fucking gears because you hate coaches. And this is gross. We love Jeremiah Love.
Well, it should throw some cold water on the Mike LaFleur hype that he was getting recently. I think he's a bit of an idiot. So this just goes to show you.
No way. You think he's an idiot? No way. No shit.
It just goes to show you bad organizations are going to make bad decisions. They're continually going to make bad decisions. This is a classic. I'm smarter than everybody else. This guy's a rookie. We need to see it on the field. So stupid. Did Jeremiah Love need one touch in the preseason? Probably not.
Here's the problem with Najee Harris and Austin Eckler in particular. They're also coming off major injuries, so you want to bring in a healthy guy, right? You don't want to bring in your insurance policy can't be a guy that's already hurt. You're going to bring in someone that's, got some fresh legs, and like Trey Benson wouldn't be that. So James Conner would be the answer. He's hurt. The Bears are in a rough spot, man. The Luther Burden injury, Kyle Manung guy, losing Kobe Bryant. Like, it's been a rough month for the Bears. Like, they're running out of players, man. Not like the Niners. The Niners don't have any players, but
did you, what's his name? They lost another safety the other day too. So they are the defense. I mean, I guess it's good if you're banking on Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze and Colson Loveland, et cetera, because the secondary in particular it's shredded cheese, right? It's Swiss cheese out there. They're dealing with some major injury problems.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you said. So Adrian Peterson had only 14 the whole preseason over 4 games, probably his rookie year he's referencing, which and that was a time when people played like rookies and people in the preseason more than they do now, which is just I don't get it, man.
4 preseason games versus 3 preseason games.
I know. I'm saying he only had 14 the whole 4 games. Like,
I mean, that's
what's up? We got Ruben in here. What's going on, man? Apparently the Iron Throne trailer is live, dude. All right, I'm going to post that up on our Discord once the show's over. Get all my boys to sub to the channel for you, man. Appreciate you, Ruben. It was not Niners slander. I just said the Niners don't have a team right now. They don't. Everyone's hurt. Is that slander, Story? When I'm just speaking facts, they don't have anybody.
No, I'm more than happy to slander a team if you want me to, but that particular one, I don't think was slander.
No, I was just stating facts that their entire team is hurt. I heard that they have they're relying on Khalil Herbert right now as their running back. Like, dude, both are Jordan James is hurt, Black is hurt, McCaffrey's sitting out. Like, it is rough, dude.
So
we lost Ricky Pearsall.
I'm not sure I believe it, but there's some people who speculate that McCaffrey's tightness is due to maybe the
contract.
Yeah, the $12.5 million he's making versus the $25 million that Bijan Robinson and Jameer, because it happened very quickly after those guys signed their contracts. Now in our draft last night, I know we have deep leagues, but 3 different backup 49ers running backs got drafted. Patrick Taylor, Kalen Black, and Jordan James, all because we just don't know.
Yeah.
Might as well take a shot on one of those guys. One of those guys.
They cut Herbert. I didn't know they cut Herbert, but
yeah, he got let go today.
Oops. Thank you, Cameron. All right.
Isaac Guerendo's also still hurt.
Well, he's always hurt. Isaiah Guerendo. I love Guerendo, man. What a size speed beast, man. Just look good in the NFL too. The limited time, but just sucks. Okay. We have rankings disputes time. So you ready to get into this, man? We have you sent me your ranks. You didn't see mine. So again, I have all the control. The way I like it, Story, is I want the control, baby.
Control it is.
But here we go. First name on the list, Justin Herbert. ECR is quarterback 8. I have him quarterback 6. You have him quarterback 14. So I am actually closer to ECR. I'm a little higher on him than you. I'm debating putting Caleb ahead of him with the Manungai injury and the defense kind of going to shambles, but it seems just like easy money, man. I know this offensive line is going to be great. I've seen Justin Herbert have multiple elite fantasy quarterback, early in his career, 5,000 yards. We saw him last year have almost 500 rushing yards. The guy can do it all. Amazing talent. Just has never put it all together. He's also had some pretty lackluster offensive coordinators in his career. And McDaniel is an elite coordinator. He's not Kyle Shanahan or Ben Johnson. He's in that second tier of, I think, a top 6, top 7 guy. Literally made Tua an MVP candidate. Made Tua the lead, the NFL passing leader for 1 year. And I think he got second the second year. I get that was Tyreek Hill involved with that too. But bro, Tua is like, just think about Justin Herbert compared to Tua, just the archetype of player. If you want to have as a quarterback on your team, Tua is like a Pinto and Herbert is like a Ferrari. You know what I mean? Like rocket arm, mobile, big, tall, can see the field, move around in the pocket, competitive, such a better player than Tua. And we see Tua dominate. This is why I have Herbert at quarterback 6. Quarterback 14, is this just like you think the defense and Harbaugh, they're going to muck it up too much?
No, the
is
defense
that what your play is?
It's also there's a combination of factors. I don't understand the glazing of Mike McDaniel. People consider him an offensive genius. The dude is a career 500 win coach, right? He's
head coach, terrible head coach. I'm not. He's a coordinator
in the postseason. I think I think especially as the league started to figure him out a little bit, his offenses sputtered quite precipitously. Also, Herbert was great to start his career. I'm not denying that. I will not slander the early part of Justin Herbert's career, but the last 4 years, 3 years. 4 years. Yeah, the last 4 years, 3, whatever. They've been bad. Like, where did he finish last year, even though he ran for 500 yards?
He was top 12 for sure. The last 3 years, it was all like 23, 24, and 26 touchdown passes, so he just hasn't put it together. Here's the parallel I want to draw to you.
13 interceptions.
Who's a better quarterback? Not just fantasy quarterback. Better fantasy quarterback. Better actual real-life quarterback. Justin Herbert right now. Justin Herbert or Trevor Lawrence?
Better real life quarterback?
Yeah.
Justin Herbert.
By like quite a bit, dude.
Okay.
I know like last year, Trevor Lawrence was great. Trevor Lawrence had a really good year when they made the playoffs in his year 3, I think it was. But I'm saying we saw Trevor Lawrence ascend to almost MVP caliber, right? Because of Liam Cohen, and they improved that offensive line a little bit last year. And, that was without Brian Thomas even really doing much. This is that situation with a better quarterback, right? And I'm not saying that McDaniel is Liam Cohen, but I think he's closer to that than he is what Herbert's been dealing with. So it just seems like a fair price to pay. You don't have to pay, ECR quarterback 8. I have him at 6 because I think he's a safe bet. Also, like I could see him being in the MVP conversation. This team, and also what does Mike McDaniel do? He runs the fucking score up when he can. He's kind of a little douche like that. He was involved in that 73-20 game, remember, against the Broncos? Oh, yeah. Like, I'm just saying, that's what I like. Like, the fact that he's just going to be – he's pissed about what happened with Miami. They did kind of fuck him. I mean, they literally they cut their entire team, and they didn't fire him when they should have. They let him be like a lame duck coach. I don't know, man. 14 just seems crazy low. Low.
Yeah, if he's running, he's not throwing, and he's not going to run as much this year. That offensive line is going to be too good. So 500 yards – is really what the difference maker. That's the only reason that he crept into the top 12 last year. Otherwise, he's a pocket passer who does not really have touchdown upside. He over the last 4 years, he's maxed out at 26 touchdowns. And he's also had 13 interceptions in that span too, per season. So I just don't understand the appeal of a guy who he reminds me of Bo Nix from last year, who had a stellar season on the back of a mediocre offense. At least it looked good on paper. And now he's being overdrafted because people forget the 24 season, the 23 season, the 22 season, etc.
A lot of people are saying they love, dude. I'm a Trevor Lawrence fan. The thing is, I'm actually higher on Trevor Lawrence. I have been his whole career than most because I was like, he's a chosen one. The Urban Meyer thing, I definitely like. I made a whole video about Urban Meyer being a tool. So like, I acknowledge all that. It's not been a great situation. Trevor Lawrence still has a lot of limitations in his game, specifically throwing to the outside and throwing the ball deep. It's inaccurate. He doesn't read the field all that well, and Liam Cohen simplified all that for him last year. I don't see a single limitation in Justin Herbert's game, right? He's got a rocket arm, but he has some touch. He can throw to all 3 levels of the field. He's mobile. He's tough. Like, I don't know. I just love the player. I love the situation.
Prior to last year, he had a season of 306, but he also has seasons of 228 and 147 yards. Rushing in his resume.
The tape though. The dude's a gazelle. It's the tape.
Okay. And like if it doesn't translate to fantasy points, were you realistically happy starting Justin Herbert last year on a week-to-week basis?
He had no offensive line though. They were the worst. He had the worst center, and both of his all-pro guards were hurt. Like it was the worst. They got Biadasz from Washington, I believe. He's a above middle of the road center. Like he's an above average center. And then the 2 elite tackles. I don't know. I'm into Herbert this year. I feel like the price is nice as well. It's right after your starting lineup is full. Again, I love to wait at quarterback, so like maybe I won't have the most Herbert, but he's a guy I'm definitely targeting this year. Let's move on to the next one that is interesting. It's Kyler Murray. You are out on the Garden Gnome, what we call him around here. ECR quarterback 17, which seems fair. I'm actually at consensus. I have quarterback 17. I feel like I'm high on Kyler, but apparently not. You have him at 24. You have fucking CJ Stroud ahead of Kyler Murray, dude. The hell are we doing? What are you doing?
What do I
want to take the glass for this one?
We assume that he's going to be running like he did in Arizona, but last year was not really all that impressive on the ground, let alone through the air. I mean, we saw have we seen a bigger drop off? Like he was MVP caliber in what? 2020. What year was that? 2020, something like that.
21.
Yeah, and then injuries and mediocre play have just absolutely. I mean, it was horrible. He was averaging. So he played 5 games. He only had 173 yards rushing last year.
Well, last year was the only time in points per game he was outside the top 12. He's always been a top 10 quarterback in terms of fantasy points per game every year of his career, man. So like that's why I just can't. And again, I'm at consensus. I feel like I should probably raise him up because the rushing upside, Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson. That enough said, right? Like playing inside too. He's not playing a lot of outdoor weather games or some. It's the risk is that he loses his job, that he's terrible and he gets benched. But I don't care at this point. I don't care because he's my quarterback too, or I'm waiting so long and I'll pair him with like Baker or Goff or some shit, something like that. He'll be the upside guy. I'll draft like a floor player. 24, like why would you take CJ Stroud over him? I like CJ Stroud, but he in terms of fantasy, he's never, even his rookie year, it wasn't that great for fantasy. It was like a top 9, top 8 guy on efficiency. But
let's also be realistic. When was the last time a Kevin O'Connell quarterback posted a top 12 season in fantasy? This is a guy that loves masking his quarterback's deficiencies, and he's going to keep the ball out of harm's way. That's going to limit Kyler Murray's upside right off the bat. So from there, that offense does not lend itself to high fantasy scoring output from the quarterback either. I'm not sure that you saying.
Well, it's because there's been no rushing volume. There's been no rushers. He's never had a rushing quarterback. So that's why. It's always been like, Nick Mullins and fucking Kirk Cousins and late stage Kirk Cousins. So it was like there were statues back there. So now you add in the rushing upside, and you made a good comment. We don't know how much he's going to run. Well, if Kyler Murray is going to be effective this year, he better be running because he's not a very good passer. Not a very good passer.
You did also mention that there is injury risk related to him, and there's also losing his job risk related to him. So for my quarterback, I could see taking him in a 2 QB league. Otherwise, I went through this exercise with Justin Fields last year. I'm not interested in doing it again. That was a mistake last year. It'll be a mistake this year.
You can't get gun shy because the Fields thing, because it's, Malik Willis is more the parallel for me for Fields this year. But this is the archetype of guy, my Fantrax leagues, there's no trades. It's eight bench spots, 20-round drafts or 18-round drafts, whatever. I'm going to target – I want Kyler Murray as my quarterback too. I want a guy that can go boom. I don't want CJ Stroud as my quarterback too. Like, there's just no appeal. Like, at best, he's like quarterback 13, which is fine. But Kyler Murray has top 5 upside. You can't deny it because we've seen it happen before. Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson, like if he's running, this offense is even middle of the pack, it is top 5, top 7 upside. Are you going to deny that?
Yes, I will deny that. I don't think you can blanket space top 5 upside with a guy who completely fell off.
He's done it multiple times. He's not old.
Have trended down every single year over the past 4 years.
I get it.
He did it 4 years ago doesn't mean he's the same guy that he is today. When talent goes.
But what about Geno Smith? What about Sam Darnold? What about these Baker Mayfield? What about these reclamation projects? What about those guys though? Like, they did it. Why can't Kyler do it? That's what I'm hanging my head on here.
Not with their leg. Kyler's not he's a good deep ball passer, but he's not exactly the most, shall we say, precise quarterback.
He's also the most talented of all those guys I just mentioned. Former number 1 overall pick. Like, regardless of what's in his head in the video game shit and all the jokes we make about Kyler Murray, he's more talented than Sam Darnold. It's close. Sam Darnold is underrated as a talent. A big dude, strong arm, relatively mobile early in his career. Baker was also a number 1 pick, and you might say Baker was more talented. I don't think so. I think they were close. Same exact coach, same college. Kyler was more touted than Baker, and Baker was awful to start his career, and it's just been the resurgence with Tampa Bay. He had 1 good year with Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Kyler is more decorated, more established than Baker was when he had his breakout, right? Or you're just saying he's done, I guess is what you're saying.
I'm not saying he's done. He'll have a game.
You know who's playing tight end there as well? He's got the best tight end in the league at TJ Hawkinson. So it's like,
you saw my
we needed to have this conversation about Kyler Murray. I understand why you're out on him, and like, the crazy thing is I'm arguing for Kyler Murray, but I'm actually at consensus. Like, so you think I'd be way higher. It's just wild that you have what do you put Bryce Young ahead of him next? Like, Jesus, man. Crazy.
I don't again, I'm not interested in going through this heartache again, because he's a guy. How long are you going to hold on to him before you cut him? And nobody wants to stream, right? Like, this is just the other problem is there's a report that came out that this might not have been Kevin O'Connell's decision, that he might have been influenced by the owner, by the Wilf family, to make the decision. And if that's the case, there's an even shorter leash for Kyler Murray. So I'm just not interested in doing that and then having the heartache 4 weeks in to try to have to stream to find a guy. It's just,
well, you got to take 2. If you take Kyler, you got to take 2. I mean, that's just,
and again, and in that case, I'm not interested in a I mean, we've got deep benches in our league, but I don't want a second quarterback. Like, it's just a waste of a roster spot.
Yeah, I feel you, man. This is a guy you are about, Mr. Bo Nix, ECR quarterback 13. You have him quarterback 12. I have him 16, so not too far off. But I feel like there's that big group of quarterbacks from quarterback 10 to quarterback 15. You know, it's with Stafford and Mahomes and Jared Goff and, you know, Bo Nix, guys like that. And you have him ahead of consensus. I have it 16. Am I crazy here? So you actually have him ahead of Justin Herbert. That's kind of why I brought him up, because it's like I actually trust the Broncos defense more than the Chargers defense. And if you're going to hold that against Justin Herbert, like that's my concern. And I like the addition of Waddle. That's definitely a better real life play, a move than it is fantasy move, at least in my mind, for Waddle and the Broncos. That's going to help Bo Nix out a lot.
Waddle, but I think it's going to help Bo Nix tremendously.
Yeah.
Like, this is a team that passed the fourth most amount last year on the back of that defense. It's not like the running game got markedly better with bringing J.K. Dobbins back and Jonah Coleman, who's kind of a jack of all trades, but he's not exactly stellar in any one area. This is also a guy that he's been very consistent in the first 2 years to start the league, and he's with a guy that I don't personally respect or like, but he did an okay job in New Orleans there, especially also the rushing touchdown. You know you're getting 5 touchdowns from Bo Nix. And
you're going to assume 5 rushing touchdowns? Get the fuck out of here.
He went 4 and 5 last year. 4 in his rookie year, 5 last year.
Yeah, I saw Dak Prescott have 6 in 3 straight years, and I know that was partially the injury, but like you can't assume this from Bo Nix. Get out of here. 3. I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3.
Dak Prescott stopped running when he got old. Bo Nix is still young, so that's not an argument that I.
Well, Sean Payton actually doesn't want him running. It's just because he's such a little jitterbug in the pocket that he just
doesn't really matter though. Like, again, if the downfield routes don't develop up, do you think that Bo Nix isn't going to take off and run? This is a nice price for Bo Nix this year. It's a buy the dip situation, a what do you call it, post type sleeper situation. So yeah, absolutely, give me Bo Nix over Justin Herbert all day long and twice on Sunday.
You got a board bet here? Board bet?
What's a board bet?
A board bet. I have Herbert. You have fucking Bo Nix. Let's put some money on this.
Sure. $18 million.
Don't do that. Don't. You shouldn't do that though, because you just don't. You're funding the channel though, so I appreciate that. So we'll talk off camera. We'll definitely put something on this one. That's our first board bet official. You take Bo Nix. I'll take Herbert. You can even name the scoring: 4 for a passing touchdown, 6 for a passing touchdown. I know you said it doesn't matter, so there you go. You can name the scoring.
Well, why are you down on him then?
I'm not that low. I have I have that whole tier pretty close. I still want Matt Stafford over Bo Nix. Come on, 40 coming off 46 touchdown passes. I still want Jared Goff over Bo Nix. Like, Jared Goff's so goddamn consistent, tied to Dan Campbell and this explosive offense. I truly believe that this defense is, they actually graded out pretty well last year, but there were so many of those games that they were down by like 2 or 3 scores in the second quarter, and that's why Bo Nix passing numbers were so inflated in terms of attempts. And that's not the way Sean Payton wants to play. This is not Drew Brees. And I just feel like this defense is going to take a step forward. They have the talent at all 3 levels, and they're going to be playing a lot more mucky games, dude.
Being the second best defense, they're going to take a step forward from being the second best defense to being what, the best defense?
Well, the fact that they were second best defense, it was a very skewed stat, because they were losing a lot of these games, and that a lot of it was Bo Nix was making stupid decisions and like putting the defense in bad spots. I'm just saying, this is a great defense. They're going to. I go back to the Commanders game. They were losing the game, and they were in a shootout with Marcus Mariota. Like, that's just not going to happen this year. So I feel like he's going to go from 4th to like 12th in passing attempts at best. That's going to hurt him. So we have a board bet here. I have Herbert. You have Bo Nix. Thank you for your money, sir. Again, so appreciate that.
The defense was, that by whatever metric you want, either the second or the third best defense. How are they going to get better? Like, how are they going to get markedly better to the point that it's going to limit the upside of this offense?
Well, yeah, I think what happened was they were giving up all of their points in the first half, and then they would shut teams out in the second half, and then Bo Nix had to come from behind. I feel like it's going to be more, it's going to even out this year, where they're going to be playing in closer games. They're going to have the lead, and that's nice for some deep bombs, but
great for a quarterback.
No, playing from behind is great for a quarterback. Okay. That's where the money's made.
To a certain extent, but
Blake Bortles, baby.
That's why I have Drake May where I do, because they're going to be in more close games this year. You want close games. You want the defense to get off the field quickly. That's what the Broncos defense does. So
I was bald. All right, we have one more quarterback to get to before we get to tight ends and running backs. I'm going to hit you guys with the intro. Give us 30 seconds. Storey, you're going to love this intro because you just ripped on Sean Payton, and just stay tuned. To change the Chaz to you. My bad. Sometimes I miss things. A lot on my plate right now. I'm commissioning 5 leagues, the 3 community leagues we have, trying to get everyone in there, the league safe stuff, a million other things on my plate. So I do make some mistakes here and there, but I'm always here on time. Apologize to Dakota for that Ricky Pearsall low blow, but it's also a low blow to Jordan Tyson, who it's not good.
No, I mean, this is obviously whatever. We've already talked about it. It's not good.
Has.
Is it more injuries this year, or is it just more prominent because there's more news? The news cycle is all 24/7. I don't know. Feels like a lot.
The news cycle's been there the last couple of years, so it is a lot of injuries. And you saw my first redraft that I did with you last night at Nick O's league. I took 7 of the top 10 handcuffs, and I'm gonna do that as much as I can this year because the injuries, not just the running backs, but I think that's a position that hasn't happened the last couple of years. Like, I'm going to bet on regression for that, right? I'm gonna bet on that some of the top guys missing games. I mean, not the whole season, right? But like missing games. And I think that's why we did the exercise for our handcuff rankings, right? Tank Bigsby, Algier, Ray Davis. I think you grabbed Ray Davis from you, asshole. But guys like that I think might, if it's not a whole year, I don't care. I want 3 games. Like what we saw from, when Chuba got hurt, what we saw from Rico Dowdle, like the years of Alexander Madison when Dalvin Cook would get hurt. Like, we don't need the whole year, right? We need just patches of games and they will take over your RB2 spot, because if you pick the right guy, right? If you have like a Jaylen Warren as your RB2, if you wait, like I want Tank Bigsby starting over Jaylen Warren if there's no Saquon. Like, I'm going to get 19 touches on the Eagles offense.
No Saquon. Yeah. But you
wish you had, like, those are the players I want on my bench. So
bet you wish you would have drafted Brandon Allen, huh?
Yeah, we didn't talk about Breece Hall. Let's talk about Breece Hall real quick. We might actually get to him later, spoiler, but you have him really fucking high. Holy shit. But
I didn't see that news until after I was done with my rankings. Like,
it seems pretty minor, but groins are not something we want to fuck around with. And he got paid. Why not sit out a little bit on the Jets? But they keep on coming. These injuries keep on coming, man. It's wild.
Dude, I think there's big things ahead for both Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall this year. He's probably the best player on that team, period. So they absolutely need him. He's going to undergo testing. Fingers crossed it's like a 1-week thing. But if this groin injury lingers, man, it could be more Braylon Allen than we would like.
Cameron's loving his 18% Braylon Allen. I'm pretty high. I think I'm at like 12% or 10%. I was taking him a lot before, just because even without any Breece Hall injury, like, he's going to have 4 or 5 touchdowns if his offense isn't just trash. Even if he's splitting the goal line work with Breece Hall, like, he is a monster of a man. And we've always loved Braylon Allen since the Wisconsin days.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah, he's a monster of a man. I got to turn the air on, dude. I am sweating my brains out. So
okay, we have Dallas Cowboys back. I'm tired of arguing about this crap. Well, you know what? We weren't talking about Dak, so you're arguing with yourself. Dak sucks. Pick him for fantasy, but garbage.
Dak
oh, don't even do that, Story. Don't do that. Don't, you son of a bitch.
How would you describe it?
I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm happy.
Dallas, you're welcome to hang out in the chat, man. But one more Dak comment, I'm giving you the boot, man. So, like, that comes for any other stream. That is the last Dak comment. Unless we're talking about Dak, if that's the case, then you can put in your 2 cents. We already know what you're going to say, so it's kind of redundant at this point. It doesn't really mean anything. It's like a crackhead talking about crack. Like, yeah, we know you want crack. You're a crackhead. We know you want to talk about Dak and how bad he is. Probably give up the Cowboys fandom then, man, because you seem pretty miserable, man. I'm sorry. I want to reach out and give you a hug. So I'll give you a virtual hug right here. And I'm sorry. You know what? You guys are looking pretty good this year, though. Only round 3 or 4, only round 3/4 I've touched is Kyron. Kyron, you know what? Mr. Storey loves Kyron. So we're going to get back to the list, though. Sorry about the comments. I will try to get as many as I can after we get to this segment. We have about, I don't know, still like 8 names to get to. So a lot of names. Baker Mayfield, your boy. Baker, ECR quarterback 18. You have him quarterback 11. You have him ahead of Justin Herbert. Weird. And I have him quarterback 18. So I am right on consensus on Baker. I'll say this. I am more bullish than my ranking might say, but I have him at the back end of the tier. I feel like I'm actually extending that tier of Bo Nix and Matt Stafford all the way to 18. So in the same tier, but with the losing Mike Evans, Todd Bowles is the head coach there. I don't like that. And Ibuka's injury, you got McMillan hurts, Chris Godwin's a fucking dinosaur. They do have Kate Otten. It's just I like the Gainwell addition, but there's just a lot of question marks. The upside is Baker playing for the contract. He is that kind of guy. He should be healthy, at least to start the year. But dude just can't stay healthy, and he doesn't miss games. He just plays on one leg, and it kills his fantasy production. So that's my concern.
I'm personally chalking up a good chunk of last year to the injury that afflicted him and to Ibuka, because those guys had a 50% completion rate when he was targeting Ibuka. So he's played all 17 games the last 3 years in a row. He's been a pretty consistent passer during that time. So obviously Cleveland was a bit of a disaster. Then he bounced around where he played Carolina and the Rams or whatever. Not great, but the upside.
He was a practice squad defensive lineman for the Rams too.
Yeah, the upside is 4,000 passing yards, 4,500 passing yards, and 41 touchdowns and 350 rushing yards. We've seen the upside from Baker. Very recently, he's playing for a contract. I'd actually feel a little bit better about my ranking if he signed a contract. I think that added security would be better in the long run. Ibuka's, I expect him to be back healthy, assuming this doesn't linger. And they got good receivers. This is very much a passing team. I'm not sure that they're going to be effective running the ball with Sean Tucker and Bucky Irving and Kenneth Gainwell as much as passing the ball. So I think it's a volume play on Baker. Stays healthy, he could easily eclipse 4,400 yards again.
I like him. I mean, he is the kind of guy that does offer, as long as he's healthy, a nice floor and that ceiling you mentioned, because we've seen it happen. And this is my argument for Kyler. Although I'm very convinced that Baker is a good quarterback, or at the very least, he's a good fantasy quarterback because of his aggressive nature. He does lead the NFL in interceptions since 2018 for a reason. But we don't hate that for fantasy, because unless you're playing a -3 interception league, like -2 or -1, I don't give a shit. Throw all the picks, dude. Throw all the picks you want, and then just come back and just fire the ball downfield a million times. So, I'm at consensus here with Baker. You are very high, though. Quarterback 11 is inside the starting range. That's Brock Purdy range, and I know you have Brock Purdy higher, and I have Brock Purdy pretty high. You had Brock Purdy quarterback 8. I have Brock Purdy quarterback 11, I think. So we're both a little higher on Brock Purdy than consensus, but the nice thing is you don't have to draft him here, right? So if you want to wait a quarterback, I am fine with taking a Baker as my starter. Almost like Baker and like Malik Willis, if I really want to wait at quarterback, something like that. Even Baker and Kyler, something like that, just to give myself stability with Baker. And if Kyler hits, I have 2 upside quarterbacks. Might be a little headache to figure out which one to start each week, which I hate, but it's fine. I think quarterback 11 is a little egregious, though.
I'd rather have Baker than Jared Goff. I'd rather have Baker than Matthew Stafford. I'd rather have Baker than Patrick Mahomes. I'd rather have Baker than Kyler Murray, certainly. I'd rather have him than Love or Shuck or any of those guys. I know what the upside is for Baker. We're hoping that Stafford can get back to 40 touchdowns, but there is not a more obvious regression candidate this year than Matthew Stafford in terms of touchdown rate. It is coming. That's a fact. And if I get stuck with a 26 touchdown season for Matthew Stafford, that's going to be a rough game.
There's no rushing to supplement the touchdown regression, where Baker has a little insulated stuff there with the rushing touchdowns and at least 350 rushing yards. Did Keenan Allen officially sign to the Colts? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah, he signed a 1-year, $8.5 million deal, something like that. So
that last night, they were like the 4th favorite to get him, and it made a lot of sense.
That doesn't speak well about Pierce and Jalen Hurts, or not. Josh Downs landed poorly in practice the other day. Did you see that?
This sucks for Josh Downs, dude.
I know.
This sucks. It doesn't affect Alec Pierce at all, in my mind. But it affects his health, prognosis, prognosis negative.
bad for Tyler Warren too, or maybe it's good for Tyler Warren. I don't know. Well, it remains to be seen. It can't be good. I mean, adding target competition can't be good. That came in after hitting the ranks, though.
Brian, I'll get to your comment real quick since you're bottom of the list here, and I'm going to get a couple questions. Hampton or Genty? I think I like Chase Brown over Hampton. Yeah, Chase Brown over Hampton for me, and then definitely Genty over Hampton, bro. Like, Genty is this in PPR. Genty is about as safe as they come in terms of workload, and this offense will be better for sure. I mean, it can't be worse than last year.
I mean, I've got Genty pretty high. I've certainly got him over Hampton. I actually have Hampton over Chase Brown.
What the hell? You love Chase Brown.
I didn't like what I saw with Samaje Perine the other day. Like, that really scared me. He is a very fragile profile because if Samaje Perine takes the same work that he has when he was healthy last year, we're going to see a much reduced volume for Chase Brown, especially in those super important third down and passing down looks.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want Kenneth Walker over Chase Brown. We did the exercise for league-winning running backs, but I'm still pretty bullish on Chase Brown.
Pretty bullish on Kenneth Walker.
I'm not worried about fucking Samaje Perine. Like,
listen, I don't think
the concerning is it's the valuable touches. It's the valuable touches, right?
Yeah, look at the split though. Like the split with the first teams, like it was basically 50-50. I don't think Perine's a good running back, but
dude, it's preseason though. Get the hell out of here. If you want to refer to anything, refer to the games that Joe Flacco was starting when Perine was actually eating into his week workload. Like, this is also the last year of Chase Brown's contract. Like, he's a better player than Perine. Perine is very trusted. He's the Chiefs trusted him. He's been trusted everywhere he's gone for pass. He's an elite pass pro and pretty damn good receiver and okay in short yardage. Probably better than Chase Brown in short yardage. But their offense is worse with Perine on the field, man. Like, Chase Brown offers a dimension that Perine can't touch. And I'm not worried about it. If that's your argument, then get the hell out of here.
Tell that to Zach Taylor.
Well, he's also a coach you hate. Surprise, surprise. All right, let's move on to tight ends here. Mr. Mark Andrews. So ECR is 15, tight end 15. We both have him at 10. So now we're in lockstep here. And let me bring out the wand of trust here. We've been yelling a lot at each other. Wand of trust here from Mark Andrews. We're both 5 spots ahead of consensus. I think it has to do with me for that range. If I'm going to take, weight at tight ends, give me the guy that has a chance for 10 or 12 touchdowns. And we've seen him do it, losing likely there. We're both not buying into Jacoby Lane or, Surratt we do like, but he's the second option and it's going to be a lot of touchdown upside. And I actually think there's a chance he gets back to a version of what he was before. It's not going to be 80 catches like we saw him have before, but it might be like 55 or 60. With 700 yards, and then you get that with 10 touchdowns. Like, he has top 4 upside. Would you agree?
I don't know about that, but if he
12 touchdowns, like, that's right there. Like, you can't.
Let's say this: if he scores 8 touchdowns, he'll more than pay off his current draft price. If he scores 10 touchdowns, then you're going to be super happy starting him on a week-to-week basis. If he scores 12, he's probably a league winner at that position.
This is a good one. Jonathan, unrelated, but it's actually not unrelated because talking about Mark Andrews, just for a story, #Hibner. Hibner, you see that fucking preseason game? He's a dude, and Cuevas didn't do shit. Oh, he had 5 for, was it 5 for 60?
Okay,
5 for 60 in the first 2 drives?
I didn't see. That's awesome.
Yeah, Hibner's really good. So not really a concern for Mark Andrews if he gets hurt, though. Also, Mark Andrews has tush-push appeal. Now, they don't really need to use a tush-push that often because they have Derrick Henry, right? But we've seen them use it before, and last year they used it when Lamar was hurt and Derrick Henry was probably off the field because Harbaugh was like, nah, it's the 4th and 1. We don't want Derrick Henry on the field. That just makes too much sense. They're going to know it's going to him. But, there's still a chance that Derrick Henry is surprisingly, it sounds like it's not a hot take, but it sounds weird. Surprisingly not like the greatest goal line running back of all time. Like he's above average. He's actually very good, but he's not like there's better goal line running backs than Derrick Henry because he takes a little bit of time to get up to speed and like he can get stuff in the backfield, which it's crazy to say for a guy that's 250 pounds. But obviously you want him in the field. You want to give him those touches. But Mark Andrews is very good at the tush push. You saw that awesome play where he was, I believe, the fastest tight end ball carrier last year on that fake tush push against the Browns. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, he still got it. I mean, certainly not the role that we saw 4 years ago with Mark Andrews, but again, I don't know, where's he being drafted? He said tight end 14, something like that?
ECR is tight end 15. He goes a little higher in underdog, like 13, but it's outside the top 12. We both have him at 10, so we're not like crazy high on him, but I think it's the same thing. It's kind of a tier thing. It's like if I'm waiting at tight end, there's Kincaid, there's some other guys there. It's like there's probably safer options for a weekly floor, but we're streaming the position. Give me a guy that could be a top 5, top 8 tight end. And it's not even asking that much. It's 8 or 10 touchdowns. We've literally seen him have multiple years over 10 touchdowns. Not that long ago.
Assuming this offense bounces back, there's plenty of there should be plenty of touchdowns to go around. And who's going to catch him? Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman? No,
and it's tied to if you believe in Lamar. If Lamar has, and the thing is, when he has these MVP seasons, it's the rushing's huge. It's on the back of crazy touchdown percentage, right? Crazy touchdown outcome. And if he throws 35 touchdowns this year, which it sounds crazy after last year, but Lamar was hurt, like there's a decent shot. This is Lamar Jackson. Mark Andrews is going to have 10 touchdowns. Like there's just like who else is catching them? I'm trying to think who. Jacoby Lane. Okay. Maybe he has 6. That'd be awesome for Jacoby Lane. Maybe Zay Flowers goes up to 9. There's 15. Maybe Derrick Henry catches 2 swing passes. Now we're at 17. Bateman has 5. Like there's still 10 for Mark Andrews. Any way you slice it.
Yeah. I mean, Lane he's got the body of a red zone receiver, but he was never really utilized like that at USC. So it'll be interesting to see how they deploy. He's getting a lot of steam, like a lot of steam. Him and Cyrus Allen are getting a lot of steam the last week or so.
A lot. I heard Andrews having a shit camp. Well, it's unrelated. Yeah, he is. It's not a good camp, but they also paid Mark Andrews, which was weird. They chose him over Isaiah Likely, and I was trying to think of why. We all thought. I mean, I'm not the biggest Likely fan as a player, but I always had him on my bench because whenever Mark Andrews would get hurt, the upside of Likely was great. But that might have been a Lamar thing. I think Lamar does love Mark Andrews. He loves the blocking. They're just best buddies. So like maybe Lamar had some, how Joe Burrow pretty much forced the hand to sign T. Higgins, which is not a good endorsement for franchises when they're listening to the quarterback. You got to make them happy, but you shouldn't be giving money based on what they want. And bottom line is Andrews makes a lot of money. They signed him to that contract. He is their starting tight end. Like they're going to play some 12 personnel anyway. I'm not too worried. Mark Andrews is pretty easy smash this year for me if I wait.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I ended up taking Travis Kelce over him. I still have him one spot higher because I think he's just going to get a ton of volume because of the status of the wide receiver core there. But I could absolutely see, I mean, especially because I got Andrews, what did we say, 4 spots higher than where he's being drafted right now?
Yeah, we're both 5 spots higher. Speaking of a great play and a great player and a dude, it's my guy. Next guy on the list, TJ Hawkinson. I have just God here, and his ECR is tight end 23. You have a tight end 31. Let me repeat that. Tight end 31. I believe I saw you had Theo Johnson ahead of him. Theo Johnson, who's not even the starting tight end on his own team. Those are fighting words, bro.
You stupid fuck. Go buy some sandals. Hey, go buy some sandals. You want to fight? I'll fucking fight. I haven't fought in 10 years. I'm fighting that. What you got? Let's see. Throw down, bitch. Throw down, bitch.
So he's not actually
Storey,
he's not actually 31 on my list. I just put him there to get a rise out of you.
Okay, well, go buy some fucking sandals. Where do you actually have him? Where would you have him?
I've got him at 25.
Still a little lower. Okay, where do you think I have him? I don't do these stupid things. I'm not Skip Bayless. Realistically, where do you think I have him?
20?
15.
15, okay.
Yeah, he's right outside that starting range. I have him ahead of guys like Bretton Strange and guys like that. I think they're all in the same bucket, right? Dalton Schultz, Bretton Strange. The upside with Kyler Murray, with this offense, the contract he has, Josh Oliver is the back. I've been talking about it forever, but tight end 15, and I'm one of the few that thinks that Hawkinson has upside this year. Like, not upside where he's getting drafted, like upside to be an every week starter, like a top 8 guy, just because we've seen it. He's 29 years old. Not going to get into it too much, but the fact that he's going to beat his ADP is like a foregone conclusion in my mind. There's just no way he finishes below tight end 23. There's just no way. There's no way. Last year it happened. That was JJ McCarthy in just a wild situation. He was also garbage. 2 years removed from the injury. It's TJ Hawkinson season, baby. And I can't endorse the guy enough. I can't endorse him. Hold on real quick. I got to hang with him.
Yeah, I can't get behind TJ Hawkinson. So I don't expect this. I don't think it's likely, but it would not altogether shock me if Josh Oliver had a better season than TJ Hawkinson this year. Hawkinson he has not been the same player since that ACL, MCL injury to his knee. Like he doesn't have explosion. He doesn't have precision anymore. It's just, he's not the same guy. And it's already a low volume passing offense with subpar quarterback play and a team that wants to run the ball. And they had a target competition in Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson, right? That's his name? The guy from San Francisco? That's Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, sorry. I'm spacing out. I'm confused on what you're saying because you're talking bad about my boyfriend, my lover, my father, my best friend, TJ Hawkinson. Come on.
Yeah. And I can't get behind it. We're not seeing any flashes in the preseason. He barely played in the preseason game, barely played with the ones. So he could get even less work this year. I can't get behind it. There's no upside whatsoever.
That says you. Says you. Can you preface it with in my opinion? Don't tell it like it's a fact on this program because I won't allow that shit.
It's a fact.
Get the hell out of here.
Can we clarify if the witness is expressing opinion or fact? It's a fact.
I think you're high, and I don't know. You definitely laughed in my face at Tucker Kraft last year. Different situation because Kraft's an elite player, but you thought it was outrageous how high I was on Kraft.
True.
I am equally as high on Hawkinson this year, and we'll see. I think there's a chance he's good again, right? There's a chance he's not back to what he was 3 years ago, but 80% of that is going to make him, if he is just 20% better of a player, and the situation's just 20% better, which that should definitely happen without JJ McCarthy there. This is a top 12 tight end. There's just no way. There's no other way to put it. He's a top 12 guy.
I just don't see it. Again,
clearly, yeah, you don't, and I see it. So
it's a low volume passing offense. So I can make a case for all these guys why I have.
TJ is not old. TJ is 29 years old. B-box. It's not old. I'm just saying. Everyone thinks he's old and washed possibly because of the injury. It's not because he. It's 2 years removed from the injury. Javonte Williams is supposed to be washed last year too, and he was a running back 1. So that was the same injury, 2 years removed, same thing.
On volume.
Same thing.
On volume.
Yeah, and this is going to be a volume play too.
But it's a coach's decision who gets the ball in a running back. Targets have to be earned. Pretty tough to earn targets when you're running routes.
Is there a disconnect here, B-Box? Yeah, I was the highest on Tucker Kraft ever last year, so I jerk off the Tucker Kraft highlights. That's the point. So he must be new to the show. Let's move on to the next guy, and you're really low on Pat Freiermuth, and this one is very concerning. Or just confusing for me. ECR is 27. I have him at 26. You have him at 32. There's no Jonnu Smith there anymore. I'm confused because I like the player, and I get that Pittman is going to kind of overlap in the routes they're going to run, but Darnell Washington's on the field to block, and he'll get 2 targets. He usually gets like the first target of the game, right? On like a 2nd and 7, they give Darnell Washington a little throw in the flat, and he rumbles for 14 yards, and they don't throw to him again until the 4th quarter. So Pat Freiermuth starting tight end on the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers loves to dump the ball down. This is obviously a great play in best ball for me for my tight end 3. But I'm not saying there's a lot of upside here with Freiermuth. But, if Pittman goes down, if Rodgers has a resurgence, this is a good player. They pay him a lot of money. He's going to be on the field a hell of a lot. He should be much higher than 32.
A lot of ifs there related to it. And again, this is a situation where I'm not sure that he is the top target earner at that tight end position. Realistically, played 17 games last year, 486 yards. Like it just not going to get the job done.
Well, they weren't playing him though. Remember, they were playing John. It was a 3-way rotation. He was getting like 40% of the snaps. The end of the year, they started upticking that, and he played a little better. But there was a lot of games where it was like 39 or 40% for Freiermuth. It was like 44% for Jonnu and 55% for Darnell Washington. And that's not happening again. Now we don't have Jonnu Smith, who had that pretty high contract that traded for him. It's just these 2 guys, and they're going to run a lot of 12 personnel as well.
Pittman's going to soak up a lot of those underneath targets.
Yeah.
The tight ends. And they've got, 2 really good pass-catching running backs, one in particular in Jalen Warren. So you mentioned dump-offs. I just think Freiermuth is going to be used to block quite a little bit. Is he going to catch a game? Is he going to have a touchdown? He's probably going to get 3 or 4 touchdowns. He's probably fine in best ball as a 3rd tight end. But if Pittman goes down or DK Metcalf goes down or whatever it is, then I'll look at Freiermuth from a waiver wire ad. I'd rather take a shot at any one of these guys, including Theo Johnson.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it right now. Why did I put Freiermuth in this list? Why are we talking about Freiermuth? I guess I'd take him on in best ball. Let's move on to Isaiah Likely, who is ECR 12. We both have him at 16. So
Okay.
our 4 spots down. Wand of trust for our Isaiah Likely hate. And that could be a Theo Johnson thing for you. It could be that we're just kind of off this offense in general. And early season should be nice for Likely. The nice upside of Likely is, he is kind of an expiring asset in terms of neighbors, whether he plays week 1 or not. He should have a slow start. And Likely could operate as the number 1 pass catcher for whatever that means with a run-first team, run-heavy team with Jackson Dart, who's going to run himself. But some nice stability early on. If you're going to stream the position, I don't hate Isaiah Likely. We both much prefer Mark Andrews because he can have staying power as a tight end 1. Is that what it comes down to for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a number of things that have adjusted his ranking for me in the last week or so. I mean, that's the neighbors situation. The more we talk about this Giants offense, the less I really want to have anything to do with them outside of the core 3. And I'm even softening on Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart because of this just the way this offense is set up. I don't know that there's enough targets to go around, right? There is no wide receiver 2 to speak of, but I'm not sure that there's going to be a valuable second target earner in this offense, realistically. So for me, it's a combination of things. Yeah, he's been a standout at camp, but it's also the talent. Like, I see it. We see it in flashes, but he's never done anything to push Mark Andrews off the field, like, at all. Even, like, so has an amazing game week 1 a few years ago when Andrews wasn't there, and yet he still can't get playing time over Mark Andrews, who's 5 years older than him or whatever it is. So
terrible blocker too. And the second point is, like, Isaiah Likely's fucking slow, dude. Like, he is pretty agile and relatively quick. He's an undersized tight end, but I think he was like a 4.8 guy at the combine, and like that kind of shows up on film a little bit. People think of him as like a really uber athletic tight end. He's above average athleticism because he's undersized, but dude, he is not running away from anyone. And it's like, where are the big plays coming from Likely? They came in Baltimore because Lamar Jackson was taking so much pressure off him, and just, the defense was not focused on Likely because Andrews and Zay Flowers and Derrick Henry. This is not the Ravens offense, guys. So if he's a focal point of the passing game, yes, targets might be nice, but the defense also knows they're going to focus on Isaiah Likely more. He's never had that focus. He's always been on like a nickel or a linebacker. Now they might throw like an actual like top 2 defender at him, right? And like that's not a good thing. Targets might be good, but the efficiency will go down.
Yeah, I can't get behind a second receiving option in this passing attack. And you mentioned it, like the volume could be there, but he's not going to be on the field. Like, we just saw Dart get blown up and go to the medical tent in preseason. Like, if Likely's not a good blocker, he's just not going to be out there all that much. So if he's a 60% snap share kind of guy, I don't know that there's enough volume, even if this was a high volume passing offense. Just in general, I just don't know that there's enough coming his way.
I feel like they should play him more than that, but there's just, there's a lot of ifs, and I don't hate it. I don't hate taking him. I just like a couple guys over him. I think we're not that far off either 4 spots, but that's a big 4 spots, right? 12 to 16. That's essentially saying we're not going to have any Isaiah Likely because people will probably reach on him tight end 10. And with the point I made about early season stuff, if I'm streaming anyway, I get this guy for a couple weeks. If it works out, I keep him. If not, I cut him. And I want Mark Andrews, and I want this next guy. And I know we've joked about Dalton Kincaid quite a bit. It's the health stuff, but efficiency-wise, tied to Josh Allen, last year he was amazing, and he was not even playing. And that's the worry, I'm guessing, for you, Storey, is that the snap share is just not there, and there's just no way he can keep up this efficiency with the touchdowns and yards per route run and all that shit. But he is ECR tight end 11. I have him at consensus. I have him at 11 myself. You have him at 17. So you are bye-bye for Dalton Kincaid. Sure. And, Dawson Knox is a year older. They're going to use both for sure. The reason I want to keep him at his ADP here and at his consensus rank is that I want pieces of this offense. I want Josh Allen's tight end. It's a super valuable position. And it's not like a tight end 7, right? It's not really a big investment. So the upside of Kincaid is I'm not saying he ever figured out how to block. He's probably still a piss poor blocker, but maybe that snap share goes up to 60%. Maybe this knee injury is behind him, which we've never seen him actually play healthy, which could go both ways. Maybe you're just like, he'll never be healthy, but the upside of Dalton Kincaid is elite, right? If he just plays more and he is healthy, this dude has touchdown upside. This dude has big play potential. He has a little bit of volume potential as well because Josh Allen loves throwing to Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah. I mean, So how many years in a row have we talked about how Dalton Kincaid is the next big thing, and he just fails to live up to expectations? The outrageous efficiency that we saw last year from him is simply cannot continue. I understand that he dealt with the PCL injury last year and thus the limited snaps. But again, this is a team where, first of all, they added DJ Moore, who looked okay. But this is a team, their philosophy is everybody eats, right? Josh Allen eats, and then everybody else eats. I feel like they're still going to use Knox in the red zone. I feel like they're still going to spread the ball around quite a bit. If he's a similar snap share, even ticks up 5% from last year, 10%. There's just, I don't know. Josh Allen's running the ball in the red zone. I can't get behind a guy where it's all hopes and dreams instead of like actual production on the field. It's not his third year in the league, right? Or second year in the league. This is a guy that, his stats just don't back up the hype that he's getting.
The nice thing is, though, they do draw plays for him in the red zone that when he's on the field, which is not that often. They do not only draw up plays for him, but Josh Allen looks for him. So, it's just at this range, Dalton Kincaid or Isaiah Likely, you have Likely one spot ahead of him. No, thank you. I don't want. It's the tiebreaker is the team. Give me Josh Allen's weapon opposed to Jackson Dart's weapon. That is why I do have Kincaid. I feel like I'm low on Kincaid. I don't draft him in underdog unless I have essentially he falls 10 picks after ADP or I have Josh Allen. But in redraft, if I'm going to wait, I think I'm fine with going Kincaid and Hawkinson.
I mean, if you've had Kincaid on your fantasy team the last few years, you know how this is going to feel. So apologies in advance. Trigger warning. He's going to crush it in 3 games out of the first 10. And then he's going to get an injury that isn't necessarily going to be season ending, but it's basically going to end his fantasy season. And then you're going to still roll him out there because it's Josh Allen's tight end, and it's not going to matter. That's the Dalton Kincaid story in a nutshell.
And you know how I operate. I am a opportunity guy, right? And the opportunity in this offense is fruitful, but I'm a snap share guy, and I just hate starting guys. Even if he has 4 for 50 and a touchdown, which happens a lot for Kincaid last year, and I see 39% of the snaps, I'm like, well, I don't want to start him again. I mean, 39%, dude, that is just not enough. And I just think there's a chance he plays more. They need him in this offense. I know they have DJ Moore, but DJ Moore is not exactly a true alpha. Shakir is Khalil Shakir. He is just going to play his role. He's going to be in the slot. He's going to have a low ADOT. Kincaid is used to be a seam splitter. That is the valuable part of this offense. He's actually pretty good on broken plays. So I don't want to miss out. I'm not going to reach on Kincaid. I'm going to have some shares of him if I wait at tight end because I'm definitely going to pair him up with somebody else. I have a lot of those leagues with 8 bench spots. Don't take a naked Kincaid. Get some clothes on that motherfucker and get it back up. Somebody that has some upside behind him because you might not get him all year, and there's a chance he's just never gonna pan out in terms of a full-time role. But I think there's a chance. There's definitely a chance, and this is kind of a wild card pick. You're just really 17 is just super low. You're not having any Kincaid. You're out. You're done.
I don't want him on my roster. Somebody told me that Kincaid's going to be a problem this year, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a problem if you need 8 points to win your matchup from Dalton Kincaid because he's probably not going to get there in 80% of the games.
Yeah, I know. When you need 8, he gives you 4, and then when you need 5, he gives you 22. It's rough, and I get that. I'm just there's still the outside chance. I'm not giving up on the player. He's still a young dude.
Dawson Knox is still there too.
He's also always has knee injuries too, though. So I guess the other upside is if something happens to Dawson Knox, I feel pretty comfortable with him as my starting tight end if I wait, and then. If there's no Knox, Kincaid is a must start. Would you agree? If he's healthy and there's no Knox, a must start. You can't deny that.
Yeah, I mean, unless he proves otherwise and he's extremely mediocre this year, then sure. Yeah, I would say if there's no Knox, because there's contingent red zone upside there. They love Knox in the red zone. They love rolling out Dawson Knox on those little hitch routes in the end zone or in the red zone.
All right, we have 3 running backs to get to. This is part 1 of a 2-part show. So on Friday, we're going to go through the rest of the running backs, rank disputes, and then wide receivers. That's going to be a very, very entertaining show. This is kind of like an appetizer, to get you a little wet, get you a little warm. And then we enter. Here we go. Breece Hall. And your ranking might change after the news because you had this out before the groin injury. Breece Hall, ECR, running back 14. You have him at running back 10. I have him at running back 16. I probably will move him down to 17, but not a giant move. that tells me I'm only 2 spots low on him. Again, in PPR, in half PPR, I don't want anything to do with Breece Hall. Like he's never going to score more than like 8 touchdowns, and it's usually 5 or 6 touchdowns. In PPR, give me the 50 to 60 receptions. That's going to make your money back. But you have running back 10, so you're very high on Breece Hall this year. You're also high on, not to spoil too much, I'm pretty high on Garrett Wilson, so we're probably not going to have that discussion tomorrow or on Friday. But, the Jets, 2 players in the Jets, and I guess you're saying it's going to be consolidated target share and opportunity share there. But running back 10 for Breece Hall, I don't know. This is like, you have him ahead of Chase Brown? Ew, dude, what? No.
Dude, I am terrified of that Chase Brown workload with that Samaje Perine split. Like it absolutely, that is the one thing that could actually.
Do you hear yourself, Samaje Perine?
Yeah, I hear myself. Dude, I don't care.
You're worried about Samaje Perine more than Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis.
I'm not worried about Samaje Perine. I'm worried about Zach Taylor and irrational coaching. That's a problem. Do I think Samaje Perine is an NFL caliber player? Yes. Do I think he should be a threat to Chase Brown's workload? No. Is he? Yes. That's the problem. Coaches make these
Braylon Allen, though. Braylon Allen's a threat to Breece Hall.
Braylon Allen, dude, I love Braylon Allen, but he's not hacking it in the NFL. Like, it's just like Breece Hall was able to carve out 1,000 yards on the ground last year, 4.4 yards per carry, in an absolute atrocious Jets team. They will be better on offense this year. That is my opinion. In my opinion, they will be better.
No, that's a fact. Than last year, of course. There's no way it isn't.
He also had 48 targets last year on a down year, because previously he had 76 and 95 targets. So if that's
a Justin Fields stat right there. That's what that is. And Tyrod Taylor. Like, those are his quarterbacks.
So Geno Smith is definitely going to be targeting him more so than what we saw from Justin Fields last year. He always gets a few touchdowns through the air. Last year, again, he only had 1, but he had 3 the year before that. I get it. Like, the touchdowns on the ground aren't really there that much, but if it goes up, there's easily top 10 upside for Breece Hall.
All right. So let's wait for this groin injury to settle. We'll have a second board bet. I want Chase Brown, and you want Breece Hall.
Okay. That one's easy.
That's easy?
Yeah, that's
well,
easy.
One guy goes in the top 14. The other guy goes in the 3rd round. So ADP and consensus don't think it's easy. I think it's easy on my end. That's an easy bet. Thank you. Appreciate your donation.
It's an easy bet on my end. Thank you for your donation.
So you wouldn't have taken, if I didn't take Chase Brown last night, you weren't going to take him. You took Hampton. You want Hampton over Chase Brown.
Where did I say that?
Did you forget? Well, your rankings say that, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Did you not forget about the league-winning running back exercise we did, that Chase Brown actually had one of the highest grades?
Yeah, it was done before this last preseason game.
Dude, since when do you go all in on preseason stuff? I don't know. I feel like you're not being yourself right now. This is like an obsession thing. You're freaking Nicky right now.
Chase Brown. He was a league-winning running back last year. This is not last year. This is this year.
No, but you want them to play Chase Brown in the preseason? No. That's anything. Perine playing the preseason is a good thing.
I want him to play in the preseason when the ones are playing, and he wasn't in as much as you would expect for somebody who's a league-winning running back. That's the problem.
I don't think I can get behind this analysis here.
This is not. This is. I'm being logical here. I am understanding that Zach Taylor is a bad coach. Bad coaches make bad decisions, like playing Samaje Perine over Chase Brown. When Chase Brown doesn't get 250 carries this year, people are going to be like, "What happened to Chase Brown? We thought he was a league winner." Well, I'll tell you what happened. You can go back to this episode right here.
And I saw some of it last year. Don't get me wrong, but Chase Brown is just tied to, like, the Hampton thing. I could argue Hampton over Chase Brown much easier than Breece Hall over Chase Brown, dude. Like, you're tied to Joe Burrow. I don't even care if he's only getting 60% of the work, which is not going to happen, by the way. Joe Burrow's healthy. This Bengals offense is top 5. There's going to be scoring and yards all over the place, touchdowns and yards all over the place for Chase Brown. Breece Hall's going to be grinding out fucking 5 yards a touch even with his receiving work. That's gross, dude. Chase Brown's gonna have so much room to operate in the middle of the field with Chase and T. Higgins, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You were worried about Kyron because of Blake Corum. That's the exact situation that Chase Brown is in right now.
Dude, Blake Corum compared to Samaje Perine. Samaje Perine's 31 years old, dude. He's never once ever been a threat.
Look at the snapshots before Samaje Perine hurt his ankle.
Yeah, it was like 63 and like 41. 41 Perine. That's not Kyron. That is a lot, but that was also a situation where their offensive line was awful, and it might still be awful.
Also,
but
if Joe Burrow gets hurt again, like Joe Burrow tends to do, then this whole offense takes a complete nosedive.
Well, anyways, next guy is Chase Brown on the list. ECR for Chase Brown is 7, running back 7. You have him at running back 14. I have him at running back 9. So, again, I'm actually lower than consensus. This might be 8. I might have wrote this down wrong, but it's definitely inside 9. But I want a lot of Chase Brown this year, and in particular, I want him in PPR. You are really low on Chase Brown. Like, the Breece Hall thing is insane. You're treating Chase Brown like he's Bucky Irving. The hell?
I don't know if that's an accurate
Dude,
statement.
you had Bucky at like 16.
I've got Bucky at 18. I've got Chase Brown at 14. That's a big tier.
You're not getting a single Chase Brown share this year, buddy.
I don't, that's going to suck a little bit probably, but maybe not. Maybe not when he underperforms week in and week out.
Every year it's the same thing. It's 1,000 rushing yards, it's 500 receiving yards, and it's fucking 12 touchdowns. That's what I want from Chase Brown. So I'm in, man. I'm in, and I'm not. Again, I'm low on him. I don't think I am. I just prefer Kenneth Walker over him. I prefer Saquon over him. I prefer Genty over him, James Cook over him, guys like that. But then after those dudes are gone, like I want Chase Brown ahead of A-Chain. I want Chase Brown ahead of Hampton. And I want Chase Brown. I mean, Breece Hall isn't even in the conversation unless me and you were talking. But ADP wise, he's not. He's a 3rd-round running back. So that's where I want Chase Brown, right? Like right kind of in the back to middle of that giant tier of running backs.
He had fewer rushing yards than Breece Hall did last year. How
many receptions? Joe Burrow was out for most of the year. How many receptions did he have?
69.
70 receptions. That's as high as Devin A-Chain, bro.
Yeah.
He's actually going to score touchdowns because Devin A-Chain doesn't have any touchdown potential because they don't score touchdowns in Miami.
Okay. I don't really care. I mean, he cracked 100 yards 3 times last year.
Total yards or rushing yards?
Rushing yards.
Oh,
like,
yeah. He's a poor man CMC, right? It's going to be like 75 yards rushing, 30 yards receiving.
If the passing work regresses, you are going to be dealing with a between the tackles grinder on that offense. Chase Brown's a great talent. Don't get me wrong. This is strictly a coaching decision.
I just want shares of this.
He ran really hot on touchdowns last year, too. Like, really hot.
For the last 2 years. But is it hot when it's happened 2 years in a row? Is it?
Yeah, it's still a small sample size. It's only 2 seasons.
I want shares of this Bengals offense, and I don't want – I will – if someone wants to go Hampton over Chase Brown, I understand the appeal. But the thing is, Hampton's concerns is Keaton Mitchell, which is a real problem because McDaniel's going to love he loves the Keaton Mitchell archetype, and Kamani Vidal is the Samaje Perine there, right? Not in terms of role because he's a 3rd guy, but in terms of skill set, right? A trusted guy the coaches like. He's a great pass blocker. He'll play on some 3rd downs. There's 2 guys there, and like the fact that you're just so worried about Samaje Perine, and I understand you're saying it's not you.
Take the name out of it. You got to take the. I don't care about Samaje Perine. I don't care about him as a player. 31-year-old Samaje Perine is not the problem. You got to look beyond that, and you got to look at what the coaches are doing. Targets are earned. Carries are given. And playing time in the running back, those are given. They like Samaje Perine. They trust him in pass protection. It is going to hurt Chase Brown this year. Also, I'm exactly at ECR with Chase Brown. I'm at 14, so I'm not that far off of him.
ECR 7. You're way off on it.
What are you talking about?
Running back 7, dude.
Where?
That's what I saw on ECR. What do you have? What do you see?
Fantasy Pros draft rankings 2026. He's at 14 in both PPR and half.
14 overall or 14th running back?
14th running back.
Oh, well, that's just
this
insane.
is overall.
Yeah,
That's my bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going in. He's usually going like pick 16 is where Chase Brown goes. All those running backs are all in that same, like after Genty, if you want to, it kind of starts with Genty, but Cook, Genty, Saquon, I put those guys a little bit above, but then after that, it's like Hampton, A-Chain, Chase Brown, and Kenneth Walker and Derrick Henry. Like those guys are all in the same tier. Like those, it's like pick your poison of those guys. And Chase Brown just seems like the safest option to me. Kenneth Walker is my choice though, because he is the actual answer for league winner.
Well,
we did that in the segment.
Way higher on Kenneth Walker than Chase Brown.
And I'm going to take more Kenneth Walker than Chase Brown. For me, it just comes down to whoever falls, right? Like, let's say I have the 17th pick, the second round, I have the 17-18 spot a lot. I'm going to be taking whoever falls. Like, I'm still comfortable with A-Chain there. I'm still comfortable with Hampton in certain spots there. Chase Brown for sure. Kenneth Walker, absolutely. Like, I want all those guys in the second round because it really falls off after that. I know you're really high on Breece Hall. Like, I don't want to be drafting from that running back tier. I'd rather draft from the next tier here. And this is the Swift tier. And this is my boy Quinshawn Judkins. ECR for Judkins is 23. You have him at 24. I have him at 17. Okay. So I'm pretty high on, even in PPR, man. I love that it's, and I like Samson. We want to talk to Samson.
We do want to talk
but
to
it's not a three-way committee at all. It's going to be two guys, which these other teams, there's some risk there of three-way committees. Only having a pass catching back, I love it.
I want to talk to Samson. Climbing to the moon like that bitch Alice Cram.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty much in line with him. It's not really the competition for touches per se. It's the offense, the lack of offensive efficiency, and the fact that he just really doesn't catch passes. So in fantasy, we've talked about it numerous times. A target is worth 2.5 times what a carry is. If he is minimal on the target front, I don't think there's a ton of touchdown upside here. Deshaun Watson looks fine. I don't want to say bad because he looked okay, but he's a shell of his former self. And then Shedeur Sanders is just going to throw a ton of interceptions, and so they're going to be off the field very quickly, and so they're going to be trying to play catch up. So I don't really understand. I guess I don't see the upside personally. I'm in line with Judkins. I think he's a transcendent talent at the running back position, but for fantasy, it just doesn't get it done.
The schedule is really nice, though. It's a pretty easy schedule. The offensive line was definitely reinforced with maulers. So they addressed it. The pass blocking stuff isn't great, but they addressed this run blocking situation. The weapons around him it's such a better situation than it was last year for this team. Adding Concepcion, like Jerry Jeudy was their one last year. Jerry fucking Jeudy was this team's number one last year. And even by Jerry Jeudy standards, he played bad. He was dropping passes. I don't think he wanted to be there. But as much as I'm not a big Denzel Boston fan, he is a really good run blocker for a wide receiver, but he is an archetype of an X receiver. They have him on an island. I like that. Concepcion is going to be a true weapon. Harold Fannin and Jerry Jeudy now as your essentially the Calvin Ridley role in Tennessee as the third receiver. Like, this team actually has some juice. It's the quarterback position is the concerning thing, but what I do like about it is there's two options. I don't like the two options.
You have two quarterbacks. You have no quarterbacks.
No, I understand that, but if it was just Shedeur Sanders going into the year, like the fallback would be Dylan Gabriel. Gross. The fact that you're going to probably start with Watson, and if it works out, even relatively works out, I like the offense being much better than last year. And if it doesn't work, now you have some new juice coming in with Shedeur and a different look, different style. I don't think this offense has to be even 21st for this to be a smash. If they're the 25th best offense this year, which that's kind of where I have them projected, Quinshawn Judkins is going to smash. Like, he's going to score 10 touchdowns. This team is still going to score. It's an NFL team. They have some cupcake matchups. They use them in the the Wildcat quite a bit because they actually don't want those quarterbacks throwing fucking the ball on the 5-yard line. But that's a nice role. You said you love the talent. I love the talent too. Talent will prevail, and I don't think that the passing game stuff is super lucrative. But even last year, it was 2 catches a game. So that would have been for a whole season 34 catches. That is actually not terrible. That is, and I think this could uptick to 40 catches. If you tell me Quinshawn Judkins is going to catch 40 passes this year with the goal line roll, with the ability we were talking about, this is a top 14 running back without even having to do a lot of crazy projecting. Just because the work, dude, he's going to have a lot of games with like 24 touches. I don't care if it's empty calorie shit. Like, his ability is too great to have that amount of touches and not smash the ADP.
Yeah, again, it's the lack of touchdown upside and the targets for me. So I'm in line with consensus. I definitely want him as an RB2, but I can't get to that top 15 number.
Well, I don't have him ranked there. I have him at 17, just because I understand some of the risk. But let's see, did he have 7 touchdowns last year? So he had 7 rushing touchdowns, no receiving touchdowns. So 7 touchdowns in 13 games. So, I mean, that's pretty good, dude. That offense was so bad, like 7. So if he played the whole year in that current situation, he would have scored 9. Dude, 9 touchdowns in that shitty situation. Like, so how 10 seems super reasonable as almost a floor. Now, I'm not going to say 10 is a floor, but 8 to 9 is really reasonable for a floor for this player. And like, that's my thing is like, that's Breece Hall's fucking upside, bro. Just look at his history, unless his offense really goes bananas. And I do kind of like the Jets offense this year, but like Breece Hall is capped at what, 10, 12 touchdowns this year? Is that the most he could score?
Yeah, but I don't think that Junkins is beyond that realistically.
Well, I just told you he averaged. He was on pace. He was on pace for 9 last year.
Okay.
I mean, if he was on pace for 9 last year, and this offense will be better. We agree. Like the Raiders and the Browns cannot be any worse than they were last year. It was the worst situation ever.
I mean, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. Like, dude, it's Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. They didn't really address the quarterback position.
No, it's just the offensive line is definitely better. Concepcion, Boston, Harold Fant in year 2. Like Jerry Jeudy was the number 1 there last year. So like the box was so. I'm not saying the box won't be stacked this year. That was like the next level of stacked boxes. There was boxes on top of boxes because Shedeur Sanders was just okay. You can't throw over the top because you're gonna throw a pick. It was 9 guys in the box, man. Like that's I don't know. Oh hey, Trone Force. Haven't seen this guy in a while. What's going on, man? Auction draft next week. Any must-have players I should target? Maybe spend big on Gibbs or Bijan and a wide receiver 1 such as Chase, Neighbors, St. Brown, JSN. That is a loaded-ass question that we answer until I get the scoring. Trone, get in the community, man. I will help you out with your auction draft. I don't play. I've played like 4 or 5 in my life. Definitely some edges in auction drafts, and there's a lot of strategy that goes into that I can't. I'll spend 30 minutes talking about this if I were to. So appreciate seeing you back, man. We're going to get to the top of the comments here in a second. I'm going to get to the most recent ones, and then we'll go back up. Which 2 players should I take at the 2-3 turn in a 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex PPR league? I took Gibbs in the first. Chase Brown, Hampton, and Neighbors. How deep is the league? So the fact these guys are available, I'm guessing it's a 10-teamer, right? It would not be available in a 12-teamer. Chase Brown, Hampton, and Neighbors. There's no way. Those guys all go middle of the second round in a 12-teamer. So
2-3. I was thinking 1-2 turn.
Yeah. So it's probably if you already have Gibbs in PPR, you ideally want to start a receiver at flex. So a 10-team league, I'm taking Neighbors for sure.
I'm going to throw
Neighbors
this
out is a must.
There's an outside shot that Brock Bowers is still available, in which case I would definitely pull the trigger on him in a 10-team league.
Oh, yeah. Even in a 12-team league, I'm taking Brock Bowers. This is a shallow league, dude.
So if there's an outside shot that he's available, if not, I would take Neighbors and flip a coin between Brown and Hampton.
Yeah, so I would go Neighbors. It would be because you have Gibbs is that like, you know, number 1 every week guy that's just elite. They call that hero RB. I would go Neighbors and Brock Bowers for sure. If he was there, me personally, I'm going Neighbors and Chase Brown. That's my clear-cut answer. If there is no Hammer Bowers. Yeah, Hammer Bowers for sure. Yeah. It's not a bummy knee anymore. It was a bummy knee last year, Cameron. He is totally good, at least by all accounts. Totally good. Yeah, Tron Force, good to see you back, man. It's been a minute, man. I know a lot of people aren't tuning in until this is draft season. We have not missed a night in 80 days. We missed like 12 shows since I did the math. It was 15 shows since last August. Missed 15 nights.
15
Bowers tweaked it.
Nights.
Bowers tweaked his knee today. I didn't hear that. Did you hear this?
Is that true? Come on, man. Don't
look it up. Look it up for me. Yeah, don't tell me that. Look that up.
I don't want
yeah, Tron, good to see you back. I'm willing to help you with this auction draft. Like again, I can't really give you information. It's I don't know the league settings. It'll take me a long time to go through every player, what the value is. I would love to help you out and look into your league for you and help you out in this shit. Thank you, Hatcher. He said he's fine. If you want to join the community and get my actual like expertise and me actually helping you out with this draft, I'd love to do it. Use the code PRO in the sign up for the Patreon. You get 50% off your first month. I will help you this year, my dude. And auction leagues are really tricky, but there's a lot of really, really good edges you can have in auction leagues if you do it properly and take advantage of some of your idiot league mates that will probably make some major mistakes. Auction leagues are not for the rookies. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, in auction leagues, here's a little piece of advice. You want to nominate those high-end quarterbacks early. So nominate them and let people spend up on Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Drake May. Let them spend their budget on that, and then you could scoop up value with Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff later on. Let them spend all the money.
And get value on other position players because they're going to be squeamish about spending fucking $50 on not Gibbs, not even Gibbs, but like, Ashton Genty players. So let's get to the chat. We got about 20 minutes for questions. Sean says Herbert is my quarterback 12. Storey is salivating at that.
He's fine. He looks like he might have hyperextended his knee, but he was back after the open portion of the practice for media, and went out and played in 11 on 11. So he's fine. Don't scare us like that, man.
Yeah. Hetzer T Hawk, the dinosaur. We love him. Yeah, we do. I do. Not Storey over here. I can't wait till week 3 and when he's tight end 7 and he has 2 touchdowns and fucking 16 catches in 3 games, and Storey's he's gonna apologize and he'll be like, I'm never gonna doubt you again because I am the tight end whisperer. And yes, Storey. When that happens, you're gonna say that, right? Yes, sir. No, sir.
If he's a tight end 7 by week 3, then yes, I will call you the tight end whisperer.
Yes. Now, if it's not, the Kraft call from last year still supersedes that. Okay, I'm still living on the Kraft thing.
That one,
I was so sad when that injury happened, man. I was my eyes were glossy for sure. I mean, I did the whole eulogy thing on the show, and I sang what was it? Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Beneath my wings.
Love that. Also, shout out to Seinfeld. All right, so we're way behind the comments. Great segment, though, by the way, Storey. And, again, this is a 2-parter, so we got 12 names here in terms of rank disputes. On Friday, we're going to do about 12 or 14 more names, the rest of the running backs and then all the receivers. And I saw Storey's ranks. We're going to have a great time and some arguments. We also have a couple agreements that we're way higher on than ECR, so excited about that. Murray had 16 TDs all-time thrown to tight ends, 8 to Ertz, 5 to Max Williams, 3 to Trey McBride. Yeah, the touchdowns don't really come with Kyler Murray, but the volume does. Kyler is he can only see the tight end position. So, Zach Ertz had a really great year there, and then obviously McBride. Ooh, a little pro Sean Payton comments. You hate seeing that. You hate Sean Payton.
I do hate Sean Payton. I hate him as a man. I abhor him.
What fab percentage we dropping on Keenan? That all depends on the league. The deeper the league, the more I'm putting. Obviously, I don't really want anything to do with Keenan Allen this year. Like, what is he going to do? Josh Downs is still going to be playing. Yeah, I think this is a depth piece, right?
He's just going to clog up the works. He's just going to make things frustrating for Alec Pierce and Josh Downs, and to a lesser extent, Tyler Warren. So I don't know that it's worth in anything other than the deepest of leagues putting any money down for Keenan Allen.
100%. Thank you, Dakota, for the comment.
Check out the big brain on Brad. You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
So Hetzer thinks Ibuka will be okay. Hetzer is also, love you, Hetzer. He's also a Bucks fan, so that might be with his heart instead of his head. We think he's going to be okay. It just, turf toe is dangerous, man. I'd much rather have my guy have an ankle sprain than turf toe, bro, historically.
Yeah, I'm worried. I mean, I moved him down. I am, it could be bad. It could be, I don't want to call it a lost season, but he needs to rest. They need to give him everything up until the day before.
You know what's awesome, though, is that in our trade, I didn't talk you into doing this, the Dynasty team, we traded for Mike Evans as our 5th receiver, our last flex, and we actually coerced Jonathan. Sorry about this, Jonathan. We got Ted Hurst for free, essentially. Like, we got as a throw-in Ted Hurst, and we both love Ted Hurst coming out. So, that we needed a bench and upside rookie, so, that works. He also got a 1st-round pick, but it worked for everyone. We're all eating. Tim Johnson, what's up, man? Rank these 3: London, AJ Brown, and Neighbors. Let's go on the assumption this is full PPR. London, AJ Brown, Neighbors. This is really tricky. What do you have? Sure, I have an answer in my head.
I ranked them AJ Brown, Drake London pretty closely. They're both top 10, and then Neighbors at 12. So that's how I'd rank them.
I'm going to go London, AJ Brown, and Neighbors. But again, if it's a shallow league, in a 10-teamer, I actually want Neighbors over both these guys. Like, if it's a 10-team league with only one flex, I can take the hit on Neighbors, slow start, whatever, if he misses a game or two. The deeper the league, the lower Neighbors needs to be dropped. I mean, that's just, we can't take on the risk in a 12-team league with 2 flexes and having a slow start for Neighbors. So I just love Drake London. Tua scares the fuck out of me, though, for Drake London. Not for the offense. The offense might be actually pretty professionally run by Tua, but that's going to help Bijan, and it's definitely going to help Pitts. We're like, we need Michael Penix for Drake London. If you want that breakout, it needs to be Michael Penix, right?
Problem is, it looks pretty certain that it's going to be Tua to start the year.
To start the year, right? But it might be 4 or 5 games. Like that also is, he's going to win the job for multiple reasons. If they start Tua and then bench Tua, if they start Penix and bench him for Tua, that's it for Penix. Like that, you can't do that to this kid. So, with the injury, coming off the injury, it makes sense to start Tua. Then you can just move off Tua. You have not tied to Tua. It's similar to like a Kyler Murray situation. They're not tied to Tua at all. And then they go to Penix for the rest of the year because they're just going to see what they have in him. I would go London, AJ Brown, Neighbors. They're all really close though. This is really close. And you said AJ Brown, London, Neighbors.
I did, yeah. I'm sticking.
I would say this. In half PPR, give me A.J. Brown over London, the touchdown upside. But London has much more volume potential, right? Like we've seen it just getting spammed with these 9-catch games.
I don't know,
so
man.
that's how I'd rank it there.
Who else is going to catch the ball there in New England?
Hunter Henry, Kyle Williams.
Henry's going to catch a touchdown.
Romeo Doubs, the running backs.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll still take A.J. Brown over him. A.J. Brown is prime for a big season.
Cameron says A.J. Brown, Neighbors, London. It's a really tough. I mean, you could ask 10 people that question. I think it would be 10 different different combinations. Mouth, hooray for my dynasty team and Chris Godwin. 100%, man. Chris Godwin is a big winner from this. We didn't talk about this as much as we like Ted Hurst's outlook. Like Chris Godwin is going to be the number one, even if Ibuka plays and he's a little labored. Like we've seen this from Ibuka, he just kind of disappears. So Chris Godwin, for as long as he's healthy, he's going to have a lot of targets. He was getting a lot of targets last year. They were just inefficient because Baker was hurt and he was terrible. But like 8-9 target games for Chris Godwin, spam that shit in PPR, dude. Spam it.
Yeah, hopefully he can bounce back because he did look a step slower last year. You have to admit he wasn't primed Chris Godwin.
All right, we got shout out Bayou Bengal. What's going on, man? We have Who-Hames in here. Me and Who-Hames are doing a collaboration on Thursday. So I'm going to send that to you guys. I'm going to head over to his channel first. We're going to do a couple drafts, talk some ball. He's coming over here to show his player exposures. This man has over like 12 grand in best ball this year. Best ball wizard, not just a DGen, an actual pro. So we'll have to pick his brain on all of those exposures and players he likes. That's going to translate pretty well to redraft, which is we're getting right there. My first draft is Wednesday. My fan tracks draft. We did a draft last night, Story, and you got hammered at. Pretty fun.
Oh, I got hammered after.
You were a little tipsy. Dude, we were drinking fucking Jaeger. You were tipsy, bro.
We were drinking Jaeger. That was an unexpected treat.
Dude, I know you pretty well by now. Like these last 4 years and then all the streams. Like I know you. I can see the little glimmer in your eye when you're drunk.
Oh, wow. Okay, then. It's good to know.
I think you just always assume I'm drunk, so.
Yeah. No. Just a perpetual level of buzz, I would say. I have seen you drunk, though, and it's usually at the end of a movie pod where you get nice and feisty.
Oh, yeah. I'll fight you over the dumbest shit. Brian says Hampton or Genty. I think Chase Brown over Hampton and PPR. It's Genty for sure, dude. Genty is a first-round pick this year. There's no concerns. Nothing. I don't care about Mike Washington. This is nice for Mike Washington's prospects. If there's an injury, maybe he gets a little bit of run, but it's like a 20% snapshot for Mike Washington, right? 25%?
Maybe. I mean, he looked good, but it doesn't matter. This is Genty's show. I've got him ranked at 6. So he's for sure a first-round pick for me.
All right. BB Box was spamming. Isaac Tesla is looking like a legit red zone threat. Well, the reports out of Detroit is bad for Tesla. He's been dropping like 18 picks in best ball. He can't separate. That was you. You've been calling that since Arkansas.
Yeah.
And the only reason he makes these circus catches is because he has guys draped on him because he can't fucking get any separation.
Can't get any separation. And so, 4 catches or 6 catches for 4 yards, over the course of a couple of weeks. Maybe a touchdown.
Do you remember my first name on the super deep sleeper list we did a month ago was Greg Dortch, wide receiver 120. I did like a 5-minute thing on Greg Dortch. And, dude, Greg Dortch could be the number 3 here. It sucks that his skill set overlaps with St. Brown a lot. That's the concern. I feel like he's more of a handcuff for St. Brown. But, dude, Dan Campbell will fucking bench your ass. Like, if you're not performing, I know they traded up for him, but what was it, a 3rd-round pick for Tesla? Like, it's not a 2nd-round pick. Like, Keon Coleman got benched, bro. So, like, Tesla could definitely get benched and not have this third role.
Dan Campbell's an old school coach, too. Like, he's not going to tolerate dropping passes left and right, unless it's A.J. Brown. Because you know A.J. Brown's good for at least one drop pass a week.
Trey Harris or Tesla. This is definitely Trey Harris for me.
Yeah.
He could have a great role in this offense in general. And if there's an injury, he's a guy that could play. He could step into the slot. Not his forte, but he definitely would fill in for Quentin Johnson very nicely. So 2 options for Trey Harris to hit, or if this offense goes boom, like I think it might, Trey Harris could be a, top 40, top 35 guy just based on being tied to this offense. And they do love him. Last year, he was the leader in 13 personnel for whatever that's worth. Like when they played one wide receiver stats, it was Trey Harris in the field. They love his blocking ability.
He's also been turning heads at camp. So he's got that going for him.
Breece Hall or Josh Jacobs in half PPR. I mean, I want Josh Jacobs in half PPR, but there's just a lot of risk right now. It's the suspension, it's the groin injury, it's coming off the injury last year, looking pretty bad last year. A lot of work on those, a lot of tread on those tires for Josh Jacobs. Are you going Breece Hall still?
I'm still going Breece Hall. Yeah, I mean, the
Breece Hall off the board when you took Josh Jacobs last night.
He had to have been, because there's no way I would have taken Josh Jacobs if Breece Hall was there. I'm gonna look it up, because if he was, I'm gonna be pissed.
You were drunk, bro. You were drunk. George followed Petzing from Arizona to Detroit. I've always liked Greg Dortch.
Remember our Greg Dortch
a feisty little
conversation a few years ago?
Yeah, and I was telling you that Michael Wilson's the guy. I told you he was the truth. He is the fucking truth.
Oh my God, this place is amazing! Right. All right, and the sunblock drink? Nice, guys.
They're really good. They're really good.
Yeah.
Thing is, I didn't make you one.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Charlie, you're drinking sunblock. It's good. It gets you all. Yeah, you're ingesting viscous chemicals, and they're getting you hot. It doesn't matter.
I also don't want Chase Brown getting 30 touches a game. And he could do it, though. He did it at U of I. He's done it for some stretches on the Bengals. He can do it.
Yeah. His workloads at U of I were nuts.
What's up, Who Hames? Again, guys, check out his channel. I posted in the Discord. I'll post it again. And again, we're going to do a show on Thursday. A little doubleheader. Excited for that. Let's see. We have Connor, AJ Brown, Neighbors, London. God, the Neighbors is going to be such a wild card. If the reports go well in the next week or so in my Fantrax leagues, I could see people pulling the trigger at like pick 13 for Neighbors. And that would be a mistake, but I could see that.
I mean, he's not even cleared for full drills yet. So I understand that the things are certainly looking up relative to where he was at this point 2 weeks ago. But the latest report is, hang on, I just read this.
Hold that thought real quick, because Tim, so hopefully you're still in here. I didn't see your comment. This is underdog. So this is best ball. In best ball, I want to rank it right now. Neighbors, AJ Brown, London, because I want the upside, and the upside of AJ Brown with this offense and the upside of Neighbors and best ball is you're going for these last 3 weeks in a tournament. Neighbors, AJ Brown, London, if it's underdog for sure. Sorry, I didn't see that man before. Go ahead, Storey.
Yeah, so he was still in a red non-contact jersey, so he's not even in full drills yet. I mean, it's one more step to being there and to being in the lineup without any restrictions come week 1. But we got to remember, he's not. They've not made any guarantees about him playing in the opener yet. So
no, I'm sticking with what I said 3 months ago when everyone said he's going to be on the pup. I said he's back week 2, week 3, and then everyone overreacted to the news that he's actually running, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's fine." And I'm sticking where I've been at for the last 3 months. I'm not going to change. I don't try to overreact to news. Look at this comment from Kenneth. Appreciate you, Kenneth. Just sat down and said, do I want to watch Rob talk football or watch Chris Hansen catch some Predators? Biggest decision of the day. He said, here we are. He's here. You know what? I love Chris Hansen. What a guy. Again, shout out to Chris Hansen for cleaning up the streets, because those guys need to be caught and they need to be punished much harsher than they already are. But pretty funny that I'm in the same, like those are the decisions. I'm in the same conversation as, I could do this or I could do that. I much appreciate that. And
have you seen the preview for the Chris Hansen drama movie that's coming out? It's starring Robert Pattinson.
No,
it's I don't even know what genre you call it. So it's A24. They've done a lot of great stuff recently. You should go look it up afterwards. It's a really interesting trailer.
I had a thought about Chris Hansen, but if you're ever having a bad day, it's cringe to watch. But like, if you're ever feeling low about yourself, and obviously, hopefully, none of us are doing anything like these fucking guys. Watch a couple episodes of that. You're gonna walk out feeling a lot better about your life and about your decision making. I'm just saying, like, it's same with Cops. Like, those shows are gross and they make you feel kind of shitty in a way, but other times they make you feel good. You're like, I'm actually a good person. I'm actually like making good decisions. I'm impacting people positively. Those motherfuckers, ugh. Gross.
So I don't mind the Chris Hansen show, although I think there's probably more behind the scenes than what we know. I hate Cops. I think Cops is a bane on the society because it glorifies the policing, right? We need it holds these guys in like the ultimate light, and even in the show, you see how abused the system can get. I hate shows like Cops that just show police.
What about the song though? The song's all time.
Song's good, yeah.
And also the stepbrother scene of like, I know Cops doesn't start till 4. Why are you so sweaty? It's such a character like plot device of him sweating watching Cops. Like he would be sweaty because he's probably like rooting for the, you know what I'm saying? He's in front of the TV like fucking get him. Such a great movie.
I know you touched my drumsticks.
Yeah. Let's see. 12-team PPR. Last year CMC carried me and Barkley was non-existent. Are you building around stud running backs this year, stud wide receivers, or more balanced approach? Man, I am just all league specific and kind of value. I think that's you can go any strategy this year. I feel like the wide receivers are a little undervalued. Running backs are pushed up a little bit. But yeah, man, it's all league. What I will say is never go in with a set concrete strategy of, certain players you could target, but never be like, I'm going running back. And if the guys aren't there, be like, well, that was my strategy. That you got to pivot. We got to be quick about pivoting, right? About like, if your guys aren't there, if Derrick Henry's off the board and you're at pick 18, for instance, don't just take Jeremiah Love or Breece Hall just to take them because you want to go running back. Take AJ Brown, take Drake London, take Neighbors, take Brock Bowers, right? Be flexible. Tim says, makes me happy to hear you say AJ Brown. I'm at 20%. I am actually I'm lower on AJ Brown in terms of percentage. All my AJ Brown shares were early before I knew he was going to get traded, and I knew it was going to be the Patriots. And I was at like 33% AJ Brown before the news. I was doing these fuckers in March, and like now it just felt gross to take him in the second round, although it's not the strategy I should employ. But like I still have a decent amount of AJ Brown. I'm a big Drake London fan, but again, best ball I like AJ Brown over Drake London. Redraft I want Drake London. I want that stability.
Again, I think AJ Brown is primed for a huge season, so I fully applaud the 20%.
He has to. I mean, it's just he should be on his best behavior too, right? It's the Stephon Diggs thing, and these guys that train that have like mentality issues. Like the first year, especially on a team with Mike Vrabel, who is a player's coach, also loves digging into Rossini. They're going to, he's going to put his best foot forward because there's other options there. You know what I mean? Like Keyshawn Boutte is a good player, and I'm not saying he's going to lose snaps to Boutte, but like you got to look over your shoulder a little bit. And this is could be it for AJ Brown in terms of he wants another big contract. He's not quite George Pickens in terms of just being a whiny bitch, but he is not far off. I mean, that last year was gross. I always bring it up. You didn't hear a peep out of Justin Jefferson last year, and that was way worse than what AJ Brown had to deal with. And that's because Justin Jefferson's a real man.
I mean, if anything, McCarthy over-targeted Justin Jefferson. They were just the worst targets of all time. So what is he going to complain about? You're targeting me too much.
Two touchdowns, and he was like top 5 in red zone targets. Disgusting.
I'm not
with that talent too.
Not disagreeing.
Hedger says, Sean, personally, I want 2 running backs in my first 2 rounds. The problem with doing that though is when if there's no flex spot, when a value like Judkins or whatever guy you like in the 20s, Bucky, Henderson falls like a round late, you really can't take them. So like the ideal strategy, if you can do it, is running back, receiver, right? One of each, and then you just take value, right? You could take a receiver that falls. You're still in play for the running back in the 4th, 5th round. If I can choose to do something, it's going to be running back, wide receiver, running back. One of each. Story, you agree with that? To keep yourself flexible if there's not a lot of flex spots?
I do like to stay somewhat balanced. I have done 0 RB or hero RB in the past. I don't go in with a specific strategy in mind. I kind of see how the draft falls the first couple of rounds and then adjust from there. Not too much we can take away from our draft last night because it's a super weird scoring format. But in general, it's nice to at least leave the first 3 rounds with 2 running backs. Kind of solidify that core and then you can fire away at wide receivers for a number of rounds, and then hit those high upside pass catching potential backup running backs later on. So, and then you also got to consider like, okay, if Brock Bowers is falling, or if I want to take a solid quarterback early-ish, like I got Joe Burrow in the 6th, that's okay. That's not. I normally don't go quarterback that early, but that was too good a value to pass up right there.
So it's very league specific for me. Like my home leagues, I manage. I'm a psycho. Mine are 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and 2 flexes, and they're full PPR. I will take 5 straight receivers. I don't give a shit because I can start 5. You know what I mean? If the same league was standard, for instance, and I could start 4 running backs, I will take 4 straight running backs. Like that's the strength of those leagues, right? I want to buy into the settings and the scoring. But in your standard, just a PPR league with, let's just call it 3 receivers and 2 running backs and no flex, I don't want to get buried. I don't want to take running back because then I just can't take one for like 6 rounds. And then you're forced to either take the dip on a player and trade them, or have like your 5th round pick be a bench player. So I want to go 1-1 in that situation. And also don't play leagues without flex spots. That's for children.
True.
Cameron, if we're saying there's Hawkinson potential, got to give Stephon Diggs the same respect. Yeah, but Diggs goes as almost a starting receiver, right? Like he goes like wide receiver 38 or 40. Like Hawkinson is the most free thing in the history of the world. He's like a bald eagle out there just flying. Like no one wants him. People want Diggs.
A ball or a handful of poop, and they're like, "This is the most free thing in the world." I'd still probably turn it down.
Did you just call TJ Hawkinson poop?
I love TJ Hawkinson. Okay, he helped me with.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Hot, 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 hot.
I'm gonna find the league.
Besmirched the man enough, and you know what? I think I have. What's up? We got Candyman in here from the Fantasy Football Garage. You're very high on Hawkinson. I think you're the only guy in the industry that's as high, maybe not as high as me on Hawkinson, but I know you like him. Tell Storey what's up. What is your exposure of TJ Hawkinson? Share that with me. And where do you have him ranked? I don't know if you have your ranks done yet. He is consensus tight end 23 or 24. I have him ranked at 15. Storey had him at 30 or 27.
No, I had him in the mid-20s, like 24, 25.
Pretty
the 31.
Well, I want to hear what Chris has to say because he knows ball and he also is a best ball maven, and this is the perfect best ball pick. I still think it's okay for a bench spot and redraft. Let's see. Yeah, have a seat right here. I just actually released it to the Discord. We were talking about Karl Malone last night, which it got pretty dark because that guy is a POS. But I made I don't know if you remember this.
See that? 2018. That's the championship game. TJ Hawkinson on the roster.
Heyo. Do you remember? Sorry, Smitty. What did you say? Dude, there's a lot of questions to get to, bro. Did I miss your question?
Wait, who's Smitty?
Did I enter? I don't know. There's a lot to get to, man. I apologize if I missed your question. Where is Smitty's comment? Maybe I must have interrupted you. Right here. Oh, would you rather have Saquon and Chase? I got you, Smitty. Would you rather have Saquon and Chase Brown or Henry and Chase Brown?
Man, Derrick Henry's I can't get over him. He's such a good player, but I think I'd rather have Saquon and Chase Brown because of the pass catching.
Yeah. Also, Saquon goes 8 picks higher, so like just give me the ADP value, and we love Derrick. Derrick Henry's a safer pick. I mean, we can't deny that.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll say this: if it's standard, which you should not be playing, I want Henry over Saquon at standard. In half PPR, it's closer. In full PPR, we want Saquon Barkley, dude. He's going to have 40 or 50 receptions. Like very minimum, it was 37 and 34 the last 2 years. Derrick Henry never sniffs 25, so that's kind of the tiebreaker there. We're high on both these guys, though. Yeah. Apologize, Smitty. Trying my best. Let's get to let's see. 15% Hawk, been cooling a bit. Had more earlier, shifted towards more elite early tight ends. Yeah, I was at what was it, Story, when I sent it to you that one time? 36% Hawkinson, 40%. Now I'm down to 30% Hawkinson. I mean, that's still fuckload. Dude, it's free. I don't care about the stack. But, yeah, I don't need the stack. I know it's better to stack, but see, so he's in on it. So thank you, Candyman. You know your shit. By the way, Candyman is coming on tomorrow. We're going to do a home and away. Make sure you hit me up in the Discord, man. I want to get your headshot for the thumbnail. My boy Blake will make a nice one, and get some crossover, and I'll get all my guys check out your show. I've already been trying, but when I'm on, they're definitely going to come tune in, and they'll probably just stay forever. We don't have a lot of crossover. We have a little different time slot too, which is super nice. Where are we at here? Sorry. We got a couple more minutes here before Story gets off. I'm going to do an underdog draft after this. I'm going to start a new stream, though. I have to go to the bathroom. I have to piss, Story. I also owe a chug, too. What am I doing? So let's get to a comment. You can answer why I do a chug. And we have to do the draft order, too. Fuck. All right, a couple more comments. Sorry, Story.
What draft
I know you're hungover.
No?
I need you on here. We're going to do a draft order for one of the community leagues. I know you're not in it, but I need you to kind of write it down for me. Value is wide receiver this year with running backs being pushed up. I agree. Can't pass on Taylor, Gibbs, CMC, Robinson, half PPR standard. Can't pass on Taylor, Gibbs, CMC, Robinson. I'm not passing on any of those guys. CMC is the one that you could pass on if you're scared, you know?
Yeah, I think we should at least raise an eyebrow to the fact that he sat out. They're probably being overly cautious, but at the very least, this should raise a little bit of a warning that he's been sitting out for a week.
Yeah, but last year, you know, he had the questionable tag, and he had missed a practice, and he played every game. So Ruben's in here. I like Hawk, but nowhere near as much as you guys. I love how you're getting lumped into this now, Story. Fuck yourself, bitch.
I don't want that.
It's funny as fuck. I love Henry, but I want the younger. But Henry at 32 or 33 is like 23, though, for most people. The dude is going to be like, when you know what's crazy is like when the Hall of Fame shit happens and you see Henry like 50 years from now, he's going to be like Chuck Norris. He's going to be 70 and he's going to look fucking 40. He can look like he can still play. Like, definitely like Bo Jackson level shit.
If you ever want to laugh, go look up Derrick Henry's high school stats. It is something to behold.
All right, a couple more comments. Sorry, I'm going to skip a few just because we got to get to this draft order. Parker Washington is the number one in Jacksonville. That's what they're saying.
That's what I think.
I don't believe it. What does that even mean, though, right?
It's tough because they've got three really quality wide receivers. Jacoby Myers is underrated. We saw what Brian Thomas can do. Parker Washington is, I mean, it's tough because, right, he had a super underwhelming start to his career, and then he came on late last year, but he looked really good. If he's the number one, I mean, that slot flanker role is extremely valuable in Liam Cohen's offense. The other thing is, you know, they're going to play at least to start more 12 personnel because that's how they drafted. At least that's what they're telling us. But I think they're going to be hard-pressed to keep all these guys off the field. Like, you got Brian Thomas and Parker Washington and Jacoby Myers. Why are you rolling out Nate Borkacher just so you could roll more 12 personnel? It doesn't really make sense to me.
Why did they draft him? I mean, that just
I think the GM saw the meta that is the NFL now, saw what success that certain teams had with it, and thought they needed to go in that direction. That's what I think happened.
All right, I got the wheel of names up here.
You see me write them down?
Yeah, well, when I read them off, I need you to write them down. So we have, so hopefully some people are in here. We have it's a 10-man Superflex league, deepest league of all time. 2 starting tight ends, 2 flex spots, 2 quarterbacks. It's insane. It's if you're to do a 10-man league, that's how you fucking do it. Let me get the screen up here. And hey, Connor's in here. What's going on, Connor? How you doing, man? Are you taking Tootin or Montgomery? It's Montgomery for me. I mean, I see the upside is with Tootin, but the Quinn Allen love, Chris Rodriguez is healthy now. So you agree with that one? It's for sure Monty for the safe. And there's, I think, some really good upside with Monty as well.
Potentially. If that offense
Seemingly. All right, you got a pen and a pad for this?
I'm just gonna type them out.
And then just send me it live. So again, if you guys are in this league, a lot of you guys are. This is the 10-team community Superflex league. I'm gonna do the spin each time. We're gonna go reverse order like we always do. The first one I click on is 10, and then 9, then 8, all the way down to 1, opposed to 1 through 10. So I have all the names in here. We have Connor, Dr. Ray, Cruz, Derek, who's 52, by the way. He is 52. Dirty Milkers, that's Ryan, new sign up. Dakota, GT, Fat Guy Rob, Joey Montana, and then MVP Phantom OG. So that's the 10. So I'm getting ready to click this. And you ready for this, guys? Here's the draft order, and we'll post that to the Discord as well. Hopefully you guys are watching. Here we go with the 10th pick.
Dirty Milkers.
10th pick, and it's Superflex is weird. Doesn't really matter. Dr. Ray, I think you got the turn in the other one too. Dr. Ray with 10. Number 9. 9 times. This is Derek, who's 52. Derek, who's 52. Eighth pick goes to... The screen is a little glitchy.
Yeah.
GT. GT with number 8. Number 7. Did this just freeze?
I don't know.
Connor, spirit animal. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's super like.
There you go. Yeah, it's all I can do though. I mean, I don't even want a high pick. This is number 5, right? No, this is number 6. I'm just going in order. This is number 6.
6.
Dirty Milkers, Ryan with number 6. Shout out Ryan, newest community member. Appreciate you, man. Number 5.
Dirty Milkers.
This is Dakota. This is Cruz. Dakota here. Number 4.
Oh.
Fat guy Rob. I'm the fat guy. I lost some weight. I looked a little skinnier yesterday. You saw me, right?
Looking good. Belt.
I don't think I'm not looking good, but looking skinny. All right, number 3. Top 3. We got Cruz, Montana, and MVP. This looks like it's Cruz at number 3. All right. The second pick here is going to go to, this is really close. Look at this thing. It's MVP. Shout out MVP. He's been with us since pretty much the beginning. Love that guy. And then the first pick, we're just going to spin it anyway. It is Joey Montana. It's a Joey Montana. There we go. First pick to Montana. You know what? He always gets the fucking first pick in all the underdog drafts we do. Jesus Christ, Montana. He always gets the first pick, and he gets the first pick here. So when we let the wheel, when we did the wheel, we let the chosen pick. Yeah, it's Montana. He always is serious. What's up, man? You always get the first pick, so you just got yourself a Josh Allen share in a Superflex league, which is a very nice, warm feeling to have. So
it's a super sexy
appreciate everybody in here, Montana, everybody for supporting me, and then I'm happy to run these leagues. I'm in all these leagues as well with you guys, so that's unfortunate because I will probably win a couple of them. I did say this, guys, not for second and third, but if I win any of the community leagues, not counting the dynasty league because we're splitting a Story, any of the redrafts, the 3 we're doing, one's a best ball and then 2 redrafts, I am going to donate 10% of that to the next year's buy-in. And if the same people are in the leagues, I'm going to, let's say it's $700 for first place. I'm going to give 70 of my winnings back to the league. So someone will get $70 off their next year's buy-in. So just in case I sweep them, I'm not saying I will, but pretty good track record. I don't want to win the money on the leagues, honestly. I want to win some money, but I'm doing this for you guys. I want to play against you guys. I want everyone to play against us and the other co-hosts. So something I'm offering for you guys just to kind of be nice. And it's also kind of a flex on my end, right?
I mean, you got to win them first.
Right. There's no guarantees, but we'll see. Connor says two tight ends and two tight ends is great. So the tight end 20 has started every week, Story. So it makes a 10-team league even way deeper. So on bye weeks with injuries, tight end 32 has started. So Theo Johnson will be started.
Theo Johnson.
Rob, you're getting bottom 4 in every league. The Magic Ball told me you'll have the injury bug. Oh, Connor. Just for historical reference, last year, 36 leagues, 32 playoff appearances. 2024 was a little worse. It was 25 leagues and 19 playoff appearances. So that's pretty high. I mean, those are all 12-team leagues with 6 playoff spots. But that's real. That was 75%, 80%. I hope this is not the year for that, Connor. But you know what? If I want to get bottom 4 in any of my leagues, it's going to be the community leagues, right? My big money leagues are the ones I need to win because that's my nest egg. That is not my future because that's pretty sad, but that's the way to extend the show longer and to live comfortably.
Yeah, you just got to hope that Tucker Kraft, Alex Pierce, and Jordan Tyson all get healthy at some point. that Rashee Rice doesn't mess up that knee again, that Terry McLaurin's over his injury situation.
You talk about my team on Nick O's league.
No.
It's a risky team, though. It's a risky team. But, dude, I got Rashee Rice in the 4th round in a 12-team league. And it was like I had the 9th pick, so it was like the 405, dude. That was pretty good.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean, it's half PPR. I get that. But, like, Rashee Rice, at least an underdog, which is half PPR, goes pick 24. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hate drafting out of the 7th spot. I hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate. My team is really aggressive, but, like, the fact that there's no bonuses for high points, I draft a little different, right? And I want the buy, obviously, but in my leagues, at least my home leagues I do that are 250, I give top points 250 back. So I'm going to draft a little different. I want that 250. I'm not going to draft as risky, but in this situation, I just want to make the playoffs because I have all those handcuff running backs, dude. All those handcuff running backs.
Yeah, just need them to actually hit.
A couple of them should. It just depends on how long they hit, right? And actually, if they get the opportunity, if they do hit, because we've seen that not be the case. But I'm pretty confident that like Algier would be a beast if Love is actually hurt.
He's always been a beast when he's gotten the opportunity. I mean, he was 1,000
Cameron,
rookie season.
All I care is you stay hot in the player props. That is also a big thing, too, because that is instant money for me and for all of you guys. And give me the chances I can replicate this story. I'm going to put the stats up again. Give me the chances I replicate this season last year. It was 96 and 58.
Don't put that evil on me. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You cannot. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky.
Okay, how about this? Go historically. 205 and 125. I think it's like 59%, roughly. Give me the chances I hit 59%.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You can't get that out of me. Absolutely zero chance. Because if it falls off, then people are going to blame me because I gave it X% chance.
Oh, that's bullshit. I don't see it.
I'm not scared. Not happening.
I'm the one making the fucking picks. Yeah, and I do release these player props to the general public on the Saturday gambling show. But I place these bets. That's Saturday night. I place these bets on Wednesday typically and Thursday morning. So the odds change. So you got to get in the community to and Cameron, that's another reason you need. I'll get you in there. You are a member of the YouTube community, so I'll get you in there, and you can just have the private tab open. That's why I place the bets with the screenshots the moment I bet them. So just leave that specific tab with notifications on. I make sure no one else says anything, so you know if you get a notification, it's a new bet. I usually do about 7 a week. But real quick, before you get off, Story, thank you. I do want to thank everyone else. You see Ryan in there, McAuliffe joined. Appreciate you, McAuliffe. Silent, Quaid, Shamrock, Junkbuster, some of the newer people that joined. And all you guys are officially OGs. It is the fucking place to be. Appreciate that, Jonathan. I do want to shout out to the new Twitter and X we have. We have a little giveaway we're doing. So if you want to hop on over, the link for the Twitter is in the description of the video. It's also on the YouTube channel for the links. The first, we need 100 people by Sunday to subscribe or, follow us on X and then post Helen Hunt in the comment section of this pin post. And then we're giving away $10. If we get 500 people, we're giving away $50. And we do a drawing live on air to give away that money for you guys. So why not hop on over there and give us a follow? Also, Cap is posting a bunch of cool stuff, shorts and stuff like that on the X. So just a way to get more eyes on the program. And you're going to probably want to follow for, breaking news stuff that when I'm not live, I can still post on X, just like the Discord, just another avenue. And yeah, if you are interested in joining the community, again, Wednesday nights at midnight is the cutoff to become an OG. That is officially our 1-year anniversary of streaming. So anyone that joined in the first year is an OG for life, grandfathered in, prices never go up, tiers never change, even when they do change, not for you guys. If you're going to do it, use the code PRO, 50% off your first month. Link is in the description for the Patreon. I'll get you in the Discord ASAP once you join. And you can always join after. I'm just saying I got to cut off the OG thing because I appreciate all you guys that have been with us since the beginning and sticking with us and apparently not going anywhere anytime soon. So that is super impressive and just like makes us feel good about what we're doing, right, Story?
100%. I mean, the community keeps growing. Should only get bigger from here. I mean, tell your friends. Get some people. Oh, maybe don't tell your teammates, but tell your friends who aren't in your league, right?
Well, actually, I think we have a really sharp community. So, like, a lot of them watch for the entertainment. They watch for the knowledge as well and the insight. But, like, I think we've leveled up a lot of people in terms of just theories and thinking about fantasy. And, like, I don't think you should be scared of your league mates because another thing is they probably won't watch as much as you. A lot of you guys watch every show. They're not going to be watching 28 hours a week like you guys will. So they're going to miss out on a lot. I'll make sure I know which shows they're on and I'll give bad information. There you go.
One way to do
Sabotage. Let's go. All right, man. Appreciate everybody in here. McAuliffe, Connor, Jonathan, Montana for that first pick, you son of a bitch. I'm going to see you guys in like 10 or 15 minutes, probably 10 minutes. I'm going to start a new stream for an underdog draft or two. Storey, I appreciate you. We'll see you Friday for part 2 of this. This is, we did rank disputes today. We're going to do the juicier part on Friday, which is running backs and wide receivers. And there's a lot of discrepancy. Jonathan, I watched to see Storey in glasses. It's a rare sight. Ray will wear them from time to time too, and it's wild. I should get some glasses.
Yeah, I'm going to be the whole glasses crew. It is a pretty rare sight.
All right. We appreciate everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you again, Storey. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, you bet. See everybody on
I'll
Friday.
see you guys in like 10 or 12 minutes on the stream. So just tune into the new one. I'll post in the Discord. Thanks, guys. Love your life. Stay positive and respect each other. We are out.